the cap to the Pollards. I mean, they have gone far above and beyond the Call of Duty to make sure these races get in. They easily could have pulled the plug and said, you know what, guys, we're done. Can't get it worked in. Instead, they have done absolutely everything in their power to make sure that we get race cars on the racetrack today, like we think we're going to see.
We'll keep an eye on where we're at. We will keep you updated from here moving forward the rest of the night. We had some drama last night, Blake. Dennis Erb Jr., probably the fastest car in the place, leading Heat 1, pulls off, thinking the race was over. There was 2 laps to go, so Dennis had to go to the back. He did rally for a top 4. The Ashton Winger, Mike Marlar incident. At the end of the race, Tyler Millwood, Hudson O'Neal. Just a lot of fireworks last night. That racetrack, not typical Senoia, like we talked about. Guys were up on the chip last night, and there was just more than a few things to talk about when the night was over.
It reminds me of just short track racing at its finest, where, it's close quarters, they're bumping and banging. Everyone is just on the edge all night long. And I think that's exactly what we had last night. Guys were just on the edge. Track position was huge last night. And if you lost it, it put you maybe over the edge. And we saw some tempers flare that we usually don't see flare.
Yeah, for sure. We'll show you some of those clips that I just mentioned later in the pre-race show. Also fun tonight, not only do we get to chat with Kevin Kovac like we always do, but Jason Fager, we keep pushing Jason's arrival time into the studio as well. He's like, can I eat dinner before I come in? It's getting late. I said, please, go eat dinner. Bring us dinner. Yeah, bring us dinner, Fager, if you could. Abby's a great cook. Maybe she could cook something for us, his beautiful wife. So we'll have Jason Fager sitting in with us kind of in the middle portion of the night to give us his thoughts from a driver's perspective. But we still have a very busy evening on tap. Kane Runyon, who we will hear from later tonight. I'm excited about that. We're going to hear from the producer. Here's our order of events tonight. Bomber Hot Laps, Modified Hot Laps, Super Late Model Hot Laps, Hobby Hot Laps, Late Model Qualifying, followed by 604 Crate Hot Lap Qualifying. Opening ceremonies, then Super Late Model Heats, 604 Crate B-Main, Late Model B-Main, 604 Crate Feature. A little track prep. I'm guessing they'll roll that cushion in again with all the moisture that we've had. Super Feature, Mod Feature, Bomber Feature. We get into the post-race show where we will hear from Devin Moran, as we do every night. And our final thoughts as we wrap up the 2022 Castrol FloRacing Night in America season. Another loaded field of drivers. I think we lost a couple from last night, which is not all that surprising after as rough and tumble as it was with all the rain. Garrett Alberson, Morgan Bagley, KB, your winner last night for $20,000. Dennis Erb Jr., who we talked about, maybe the best car last night. Turbo, Tyler Erb, Ryan Gustin, Will Harrington, and Spencer Hughes. Also, Clay Knight. Matt Long, my buddy from Charlotte Motor Speedway in the house. How about Matt Long tonight?
Matt Long, shout out. And you told we were doing it yesterday, and he said, Matt's not going to be here. Well, he made the tow overnight.
He did not make it last night. He will be there tonight. I love Matt in the 55 car. Chris Madden, Mike Marlar, Parker Martin, Tyler Millwood, Devin Moran. We talked to him after the race last night. Of course, Jeremy Bullen's own car. Jeremy seemed optimistic even after their tough run last night, Blake.
Very optimistic. I was surprised how cheery things were after missing the main event, but I feel like they felt like they made some steps towards having a better night tonight. And we talked to Devin last night about, hey, how much does last night benefit you for tonight? Because we're going to see a different racetrack. Well, lo and behold, we're probably going to see a pretty similar racetrack.
See a similar racetrack. And Hudson O'Neal, who got kind of dumped there at the end by Tyler Millwood at the end of the night. Michael Page, Brandon Shepard, who will likely be crowned your champion tonight. Brian Shirley, Ricky Thornton Jr., Ricky Weiss, Ashton Winger, Will Rowland, and J.R. Mosley. Yes, Blake.
No Bloomer, I see. You wonder, were those problems terminal that he had in the B-Main? You saw him break in a transfer spot.
Yeah, and I got a text from Jacob Nord earlier. I haven't had a chance to check it yet. I will, but yes, I did not see it. He was not on my race pass either, right?
Yes,
is that right,
correct.
Kane? No Bloomquist on my race pass. Yeah, we hate to see that. But I'd love to see Scott out there tonight. But, listen, that's not exactly Scott's cup of tea last night, right? That is not exactly what he wants to race on at this point in his career. So I think, Blake, last night, let me ask you this. Some guys had a bad night that need a good night last night. Who are those guys you think that maybe struggled a little bit last night that would like to really turn it around tonight? Maybe some of the obvious choices, I
mean,
guess.
you got to think the first one that comes to mind is Devin Moran just tough night, missed the A, doesn't get very many opportunities to drive for Jeremy Boland's a unique relationship there. Jeremy doesn't get to race a ton, obviously busy with his Sunday job, but tonight, they can bounce back in a big way. A great purse tonight. And last night, we saw guys move through the field. We saw a lot of attrition and gave an opportunity for guys to really bounce back. Dale McDowell, Chris Madden also come to mind there attrition hit them and kind of ruined what was going to be a good night.
For all intents and purposes, I've mentioned Sheppy a couple times. He will be crowned the Castrol FloRacing Night in America champion tonight, and with that, the $75,000 top prize. But there is some shuffling behind him in the point standings, with Bobby Pierce not here this weekend. He's had his own interesting weekend. The points look like this. Some guys moving and shaking around. Still Sheppy on top. Ricky Thornton now second in points. Bobby falls to third. I would expect Marlar and Turbo to probably pass him tonight, obviously, after those guys can drop a race, and Bobby doesn't have that opportunity now with missing tonight. Garrett Alberson, Hudson O'Neal, Dennis Herb Jr., and Brandon Overton. And Spencer Hughes, rather, round out your top 10. Pretty neat, Blake. $75,000 for Brandon Shepard tonight for an 11-race tour. About 3 or 4 years ago, that would have been completely freaking unheard of.
That would have been a good season for some guys
Right.
on the local aspect, and then he does it in 11 races. Has had an incredible season, just consistent. I think that's what stuck out. Maybe didn't reach the wins that they wanted to this year, but the consistency is there. Second in Lucas Oil points, and now going to win this championship, $75,000. And I saw on Facebook today they're building that skyscraper of a shop in New Berlin.
Yes, for sure.
So exciting times ahead.
And one thing, too, I've got the flow points ahead of me here. It'll be $75,000. Normally we pay $30. Perfect attendance this year. We did a bonus at $75. Ricky Thornton Jr. in line for a $15,000 payday tonight. So not bad it's almost tow money, in essence, for him to come to Senoia,
Extra money definitely being spread throughout the field with the Castrol FloRacing Night in America series. And I think that's the beauty of it. That's $15,000 for a guy like Ricky Thornton Jr., as you said. 3 years ago, wasn't even on the table, wasn't even really thought of, and now a little bit of extra money to show up to. Keep in mind, all these races, all 11 races are big races, all over $20,000 to win. It's not like you got to show up for a $4,000 win or something like that to get to 20. Every race big with Castrol FloRacing Night in America.
I felt bad for DJ and Ben last night. They apparently did not get to eat dinner. There's multiple reports. I've heard it from them. I've heard it from everybody else. So they had whiskey for dinner when they got back to the VRBO. A few cocktails for dinner, right? I'm hoping that they've recovered, Blake, from having that whiskey last night.
I hope so. I'm in my 30s now, and I can understand waking up, and I definitely don't, after a night of having a couple mixed drinks, feel a little bit rougher than I did when I was 21, 22.
These guys are definitely not 21 and 22. We'll find out what shape they're in.
Though.
Ben Shelton and Dustin Jarrett. Guys, it's been another hairy day from Senoia. We'll send it out to you now.
Welcome to Senoia Raceway, the second night of the second annual Peach State Classic, and Mother Nature continues to pick on us here, but this staff continues not to give up. The fans don't give up. The racers don't give up. And DJ, we are getting ready to rock tonight. A ton of money on the line, and 20% chance of rain turned into about 2 hours of a drizzle. You see the sky there, and the good news is
that sky looks good from that drone camera compared to maybe how it's looked most of the afternoon.
It has been a battle, but I tell you what, the fans continue to come in. The pit area is packed, and tonight somebody's going to win $53,053. The final leg of not only this event, but of the 2022 Castrol FloRacing Night in America Tour. After last night, Kyle Bronson gets his first win of the year, his first ever with the tour, 9 winners in 10 events. And tonight, they had the racetrack looking perfect, and then the rain came through. But I tell you what, she looks pretty sporty right now.
It looks a lot better, I think, than we anticipated. Talking to the drivers down there, and we told them, hey guys, we're going to race tonight, and if you guys choose not to or want to save your equipment, we understand that. Ben, every single driver in the pit area said, no, we're here. We want to race. $53,000 on the line. We're going to go out there, and someone is going to walk out of here. There's a very good chance someone walks out with their biggest career payday here tonight.
100%. Well, they're getting the racetrack sealed in. They're going to shuffle the order on some of the drivers for the divisions for hot laps, get it sealed up. So we're not going to hold it here real long. I know that Michael Rigsby, Blake Anderson, they're back in the studio. Hot laps are going to be starting in just a few moments, so we're going to go ahead and kick it back to Bloomington, Illinois, the FloRacing Dirt on Dirt studios. Michael Rigsby, Blake Anderson, they're in the nice warm booth. They probably got some Chick-fil-A being delivered. Hey, guys.
Did Fager make it?
Fager's going to be there tonight. Yep, so we're going to toss it back to you guys, and we're moments away from hot laps here in Georgia.
I'll be honest, Chick-fil-A sounds good now that they said that.
It always sounds good.
Thanks to Ben and DJ. A little bit chaotic tonight. So notice typically we'd throw it out there for hot laps and let those guys take it. And we're going to continue our pre-race show here, I think, while the guys are hot lapping the 602s and before we get to the super late models. We are going to step away and take a quick commercial break. Just bear with us tonight, right? The Mother Nature threw us another 2-hour curveball. We got Chick-fil-A coming. We got Jason Fager coming. We'll continue with the Castrol pre-race show and our Dirt Draft gambling segment after a short break.
Sporting the mother of all mega spoilers? That's not confidence. Choosing an oil that's 3 times stronger than the leading synthetic? Now that's confidence. Castrol Edge. Maximum performance. Maximum confidence.
Hey, race fans, if you like fantasy sports, you're going to love Fantasy Dirt Track Racing on DirtDraft.com. With over 500 events each year covering all the major series, you work on earning points that can be spent in the speed shop for everything from tickets to events, streaming subscriptions, different experiences, t-shirts, hats, backpacks, you name it. There's a ton of stuff available. How do you earn points? It's simple. Each race, you have a $100,000 salary cap, and drivers are valued based on their performance. Better drivers cost more, and drivers that are struggling, well, they cost a little bit less. You need to pick 5 drivers staying under that $100,000 salary cap, and then hope they all make the feature and they all finish up front, because your team is competing against hundreds of other teams picked by players just like you. Points are awarded based on where your combined team finishes, so if you're up front, you get lots of points. If you're bringing up the rear, well, hey, at least you get a few points for your effort. The best part is, not only are you vying for a win each race, you're also competing on season-long leaderboards and mini-series, official series championships, and more, all to win actual trophies and awards. You gotta get your team locked in before the first heat race starts, and then it's game on. Visit DirtDraft.com or download the Dirt Draft app today.
Racers that win, pour it in, and we appreciate you.
Didn't have that on my bingo card as they try to work by the B5 down the back straightaway. And a nice move by Bronson as Winger gets by Marlar, and Marlar's off the pace.
Oh, no, man. I don't. We're going to see the FK Rod Ends instant replay of this one. And then. Yeah, look at the.
He broke the left. He break the left front. I don't know.
Did they make contact?
I don't think they did. I thought Winger made contact with him very candidly. I thought Winger got him down in 3 and 4. Watching that replay though, I don't know. D-Mac, can we show that replay one more time, my friend?
Mike, from your vantage point, what happened?
I got run over.
Yeah, tough break, Mike. Definitely looked like you had a car to beat. You were closing in on Kyle.
Yeah, I really think I could have won the race there, and just what are you gonna do? I mean, you gotta race with who you gotta race with, and they do a lot of dumb shit.
I know I shouldn't be laughing at that, but it is funny, right? You never hear Mike Marlar talk like that ever. So, listen, I love Ashton Winger. I love his family. Yeah, he got into Mikey last night. It's funny to hear Mike Marlar say that, right?
It is. I get a kick out of it.
I'm excited, by the way, to have Jason Fager in studio with us later. Maybe he'll bring us the Chick-fil-A later. But Jason will be joining us here in a little bit. I'm excited to have him tonight. So when stuff like that happens, I want to get a driver's perspective. A reminder, if you're looking, Blake, a reminder to you, if you're looking for the best dirt track fantasy app, it is without question our friends at Dirt Draft. Compete against hundreds of other race fans for a chance to win and stay under the $100,000 salary cap. You pick 5 drivers, you earn points, you use those points for subscriptions, tickets, and apparel, and get a free FloRacing t-shirt for brand new subscribers. Last chance this year when you use the promo code FloRacing when registering for Dirt Draft. We joked yesterday, DJ, when filling in for Derek last year, went 0 for 5. Blake, a far, far more respectable showing yesterday of 3 and 2. Blake, throw your hand up in the air there. 3 and 2, which brings Derek's season total now to plus $100 for Blake/Derek Anderson, as we call him there. Not former Kentucky guard Derek Anderson, Blake/Derek Anderson. 5 bets to go. Here they are, the final 5 bets of the season. We begin with qualifying, where you take last night's heartbreak guy. Chris Madden had a little bit of heartbreak too. I got you here tonight. I got you here.
I like the bounce back from Dennis. A little recovery.
Motivated. He'll be motivated.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Superstar bet. My guy who just cursed on the air last night, Mike Marlar. Your guy, the defending and will be defending champion, Brandon Shepard.
Well, last night a tough night for him. Got lapped. Still got a top 10. He's 13 for 13 on top 10s.
Is that good? Tonight. Is that good?
Yeah, that's decent. I think 14 for 14 tonight, maybe a $53,000 check.
The non-superstar bet, a pair of Southeastern stars, Will Harrington, a guy who told me he was coming to Fairbury this year, then did not come. I'm not holding that against him. And then Tyler Millwood, who was involved in that incident with Hudson O'Neal. 2 mashers here, Blake Anderson.
Harrington 17th to 7th last night.
Woo! So. That black 19 car is sharp looking.
I like
too.
it.
I also think Tyler's car is one of the best looking cars in the
white
area.
And blue?
Yes. At 31, super clean. A guy who, by the way, is dabbled with Tyler Courtney, talking about some sprint car stuff. Tyler Millwood a little bit.
I like that.
So, I'm just throwing, get a little sprint car
get
reference
some guys
in here for
coming
you.
over to our side.
Yellow flag bet. I'm taking the over again. Last night, I actually feel pretty good about it after seeing the rain. When we did 6.5, I didn't know that the rain was coming in, Blake. I feel good about this one again.
Well, shoot, we nearly hit the 6.5 in the feature alone.
And your winner tonight, I've got Ryan Gustin, a big win in Georgia earlier this year with the World of Outlaws with Boyd's. Boy, I like your pick of Dale McDowell a lot, though.
It made me feel a lot better when I texted you my pick and you said, that was one of the guys I was going to pick him. I'm like, okay, I'm doing all right then. I think Dale, last night a tough night. Tonight, not going to be a tough
I will say this, though. Dale McDowell doesn't exactly love racetracks like we've got that we didn't think we were going to get when we picked at 11 o'clock this morning.
Yeah,
so,
I thought that we were going to get, Senoia.
Right, yeah, right. And tonight we're getting Hopstad after a rain shower.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So I think Derek still owes me money, by the way, over the years from various other things.
I'm not responsible for that, though,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I really shouldn't have to pay him, even if those are the final 5 bets of the year, $50 each. We'll see where we're at the end of the night. Speaking of Brandon Shepard, I wanted to put him first tonight in our apparel hit. The guy who's about to be crown champion tonight. If you want to get some Brandon Shepard apparel, take your phone out. I had somebody Facebook me and say, what the hell's a QR code?
I told you last night.
You were right. A QR code is if you take your QR reader out on your phone. You have to
just phone.
or just use the camera.
Yeah.
Just use the camera. Get your camera out right now. Point it at this QR code on the screen. It will take you directly to where you can buy Brandon Shepard apparel. That's the exciting thing about it. It'll take you right there to where you can buy Brandon Shepard apparel, or of course go to bshepard.com.
Flowsports.link.
Yeah.
Boom.
There you
Gear. Got it going.
There you go.
On the phone.
Got the apparel going right there. We're inching closer and closer to kicking off our season finale from Senoia. Hot laps are very close. We'll step away. Be back, I think, with Kevin Kovac after the break. We'll see if they're on track or not. If they are, we'll throw it right out there. If not, we have a little more pre-race show coming up. You're watching Castrol's FloRacing Night in America.
The fastest growing name in the motorsports industry is the Racers brand of safety gear and apparel. Winners wear K1.
Hi, I'm Tom Buzzy.
And I'm Lori Buzzy.
And this is our story. 2010, 2011, we decided to start our own family business of Buzzy Racing. 4-cylinder cars at Hickory and Daytona with NASCAR cars. We have a son that races. We have 2 grandchildren that race. I feel like from our customers' perspective, they appreciate that. We understand their situation. We understand their budget concerns, what they need in technology. It's something we've done for so many years, and we're very fortunate to be able to pass that on to our customers.
Kyle Bronson does Kyle Bronson things up on the cushion. He leads down the back straightaway, final time, off into turns 3 and 4 for the first time in his career. Kyle Bronson is a Castrol FloRacing Night in America winner tonight at Senoia. He gets it done. Second will go to Spencer Hughes. Garrett Albertson third. Oh, hang on, crashing across the finish line as Hudson O'Neal finishes 5th, albeit backwards, and Dennis Erb Jr. comes home in 4th. And I don't think Hudson's real happy with somebody. We're about to find out who. Looks like Tyler Millwood. He's the lucky recipient.
that was the moment between Tyler Millwood and Hudson O'Neal at the end of the race last night. It was hard for me to tell in live time, Blake, what exactly happened. But then let's show the replay, Kane. We actually showed this replay afterwards. Bring the audio down to the replay just a little bit, too, after you roll it, because I want to talk over it. After I saw this, I'm like, oh, okay.
Here's a look back at that last lap. What happened?
This is why Hudson was mad right here as you hear DJ with the call. They're coming to the stripe end. Woo, a little bit into the back.
Didn't lift.
I like Tyler. Again, I love Tyler Millwood. I love the family. I got into the back of him a little bit there. I understood why he was mad after I saw that.
It's short track racing.
Short track racing on a nuclear fast surface last
go.
night, right? Do we have Kevin Kovac? We do have Kevin Kovac. I am sad a little bit because this is the final time in 2022 that I'll get to welcome Kevin Kovac onto our Castrol pre-race show. Kovac, Blake, he's like a warm blanket. You know, you get cozied in with blanket throughout the year. He's my security guy that I need during my pre-race show, you know?
Love Kovac. Big Kovac.
Big Kovac guy. Kovac, we had a lot of drama last night here in Georgia. What'd you make of everything that went on here last night? It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Marlar getting angry. How about that? You know, I mean, not angry. I mean, I was a good angry though. I mean, he just like very calmly just says like, you know, throws out there that he wasn't happy with Ashton Winger's you know, tactics or whatever, the incident. Man, that Hudson O'Neal made one heck of a save in that thing. I mean, there's a wall on the inside there, and somehow he avoided hitting that. I mean, that was a heck of a move that he daredevil kind of move there. Looked like he was in a thrill show the way he was and didn't get hit. Pretty good job there, but yeah, it did get a little crazy last night. But man, there's so much. That was as muddy of a race cars as I've seen in a while. I think I saw a picture of Dale McDowell's helmet after he dropped out and decided to just call it a night. I mean, it's one of those old ones. I mean, you know, like some old California dirt track sprint car photo, all the mud all over the
Ascot
helmet.
Speedway Park.
To Larry.
To Larry. Kovac, this is a non-Senoia question for a second. I had to ask you this. Outlaw schedule out. Lucas schedule out. First glance at both. What are the big headliners that jump out to you?
Well, yeah, I mean that Dirt Track World Championship at Eldora, that was like.
How excited was Jonathan Davenport when you saw him? Yes.
I talked to him. He had said like, yeah, Rigsby actually texted me about this. I mean, I think you're going to be happy about this, you know. And he's like, "Whoa, I didn't know what was going on. I just was talking to him at Charlotte about like maybe, you know, where the dirt track could run. And I'd want it to come somewhere else. I said Eldora, and it's happening, you know. It was Rachel Davenport, though, who's there, who said he was like a kid on Christmas morning after he heard about it, you know. I mean, he's not the only one happy, though. I mean, Brandon Overton, I talked to him also. He's pretty he's pretty happy about that also. He's pleased that there'll be another race at Eldora.
What'd you think, though, just generally? And personally, I've texted Steve Francis and Rick Schwally both. They both did a great job with their schedule. I think if we're pairing the schedules together and sending them out as one, it's the best collective set of schedules on both tours combined in the last 7 or 8 years. That's my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's they're not like overdone too. I think. Yeah. I mean, like I think they were getting Lucas. I think Rick Schwally even said it. You know, like he's even wearing out some of his officials, and you know, with all the races there's like a point where you have too many races on a national tour with late models. You know, when you have other options and all, and you don't want to make everybody believe like, hey, I might as well go run something else instead of running the series when you have too many. And one thing I noticed with the Outlaws too, they moved up that little northern western swing there, you know, with like River City's like track again. I always love that place, and that's more like, you know, earlier now, like towards the end of June, early July. That's a little different too.
Blake, what do you got?
Kovac, the thing that stands out the most to me as I look at both of these schedules is the amount of just big weekends with, you know, maybe $8,000 to $10,000 prelims going into a big purse. I feel like as a late model team right now, you just got to be licking your chops between the Outlaw schedule, the Lucas schedule, and then the impending Castrol FloRacing Night in America schedule. What do you think? Is this sustainable? That I guess as a sprint car guy, that's my question. Are these
Blake wants to know, can we do this in sprint car racing?
Yeah, exactly. What can we do to get those in the sprint car world?
It is. Yeah, that's what I did notice too. You know, like the multi-day shows. I'm not gonna say I'm not the number one fan of the multi-day. I kind of like having, you know, going to the different places, but it is good for the racer too. You don't have to go a lot of spots, and maybe it could help build like good big weekends with fans coming out too, and make it and attracting more drivers where they don't have to travel around as much. They can just go to one spot, stay in one spot.
Kovac, final notes that you've got from Senoia. What do you got for us as we head into the $53,000 to win Peach State Classic tonight? What do you got for us?
I'm just shocked that it was 366 days since Kyle Bronson last won a race.
Pretty crazy, right?
I'm glad to see him win a race because he really, really needed it. I mean, he was a guy. You remember just last year he won a big race. He won the Silver Dollar Nationals. I mean, he had gotten over that hump, got a big crown jewel event on his schedule on his resume, and looking. Going into this year, like, hey, he's gonna take another step, and I mean, obviously he's been with his head a little bit, maybe with promoting there at Golden Isle Speedway. Does that do something to take away from what he's doing? But he also has had a lot of bad luck right from the start, and I mean that's the number one takeaway for me last night is just Kyle Bronson. Good job, and also I liked him having the Hoosier Tire headband.
He had it backwards though. He had it backwards.
I mean, it's like, well, I know it's backwards, but I think those things are meant that the current form of the Hoosier Tire band they're meant for the head, not around the neck. They used to be like, I've said this before. They look floppy on the neck. I don't like it. I don't like it.
People tune into FloRacing and Dirt on Dirt for this kind of analysis, Blake. You can only get this kind of analysis here. Kevin, I appreciate it so much, buddy. This is the last time we will see you in this setting all the way until April when our season comes back. Thank you for everything all year, buddy. Have a good weekend and be safe out there, okay?
All right, thanks. We'll see you. It'll be April before we know it.
All right, thanks, man. We're going to wrap up here, Blake, as I can actually see Turn has flipped it over. We do have some cars on the racetrack. We're getting closer and closer. My final thoughts are this. I want to throw up that Tim Clausen tweet that I saw from earlier today. That was pretty cool. Blake, obviously, Tim Clausen, very notable name in sprint car racing, of course, Brian's father and Clausen Marshall Racing Team and all that. He said, Kane, do we have that? Yes, we've got it. Seeing the effort that Senoia put in to get this race and sure excites me to go to this track and support them for the All-Stars race when they are there in February. That's kind of, to me, like the beauty and essence of what we're doing with streaming, right? Is Tim Clausen, who's probably not that big of a dirt late model guy, has seen these people work their ass off. He knows, hey, we're going to go there now in February and support these guys because of what we've seen. And, Tim may have gone or may have not gone anyway, but God, that stuff's just cool to me, Blake.
It makes me smile a little bit to see that this effort is getting noticed in the sprint car world. And the guy Tim Clausen, a lot of followers that are sprint car fans that are now aware of the effort and maybe digging in and seeing what they did at Senoia. So I can't wait to get there February 3rd and 4th, be here before we know it. We got a lot of racing to do before then, though. That's weird to say before February 3rd and 4th.
It's almost Thanksgiving, right?
I know.
We have a lot to do. Blake, what are your final thoughts from the studio here?
I'm really excited to see what this racetrack does tonight. Can we get it wider? Does it maybe get quite as, it wasn't choppy, but as heavy and our tear-off's going to be an issue tonight. That was something that surprised me. It was like as DJ said, the Taco Bell drive-thru of guys getting more tear-offs. So I'm excited to see what happens. Is track position going to be as important as it was a night ago?
Yeah, it looks naked eye. This is where I hope Jason gets it. It looks good to me. Like it already looks a little better than it did last night. I want to see when the super guys get out there and turn a little heavier horsepower and kind of kick into it a little bit as I'm looking at my monitor over here. I think it looks okay though so far. Am I nuts or no?
No, I agree. I think we look ahead of where we were a night ago, and an hour ago I was maybe
skeptical of this night happening. Let's just be very
much
candid.
like yesterday.
Yes, 2 nights in a row. Again, can't say enough about the Pollard family, Clint Smith, and our team too. Ray Cook, Ben Shelton, Kelly Carlton, Dustin Jarrett, and everybody that made this happen. We will be back in the studio all night long. Jason Fager will join us. Kane, give me the aerial shot real quick. Jason Fager will join us right here as we've got the couch turned around. He will be ready to be my guest tonight. Maybe we should have him bring food.
Saves us on an Uber delivery fee.
Uber Eats. I'm more of a DoorDash guy. You're an Uber Eats guy. Is that what you...
Yeah. I mean, I don't do that a ton, but
Kane and I do it, 4 times a week, Kane? 3 times a week minimum. Blake Anderson, Michael Rigsby in the FloRacing Studios. We will be back. I'll throw it out now to John Matthews and Tim Cooper as the support class hot lap sessions are wrapping up. Ben Shelton and Dustin Jarrett will be on board very soon for Super Late Model Hot Laps. We'll be back here all throughout the night, guys. Peach State Classic, $53,000 to win, coming up right now.
Race fans on Flow, welcome back to Senoia Raceway. I'm John Matthews, joined by Tim Cooper. You are watching 604 Crate Late Model Hot Lap qualifying. 2 groups have completed that. We have 38 crates signed in for the evening. Matt Dooley, quick time so far, 14.201 seconds. He was the fastest, and he was in Group 2. Tim Clark in the 22T ran that 2.62 second lap in the first group of qualifying. So something to watch. Let's see if this third group gets a little bit quicker as we're just sorting out some traffic. Tim, who do you think the cars will be to watch here? I'm
right
seeing
here,
that 66.
the 66, our 602 late model sportsman track champion in a 604 crate late model tonight, and that is the old Booger Brooks car. So you know that one's bad fast, and he actually won in that one last weekend.
Where was I think track up in North Alabama, I think.
So
he picked
the
up a big
66
win.
there of Taylor Cole right there on your screen. He's our 602 late model sportsman track champion this year. So running crates tonight. Let's see what he can do. He's going to be one of the ones to watch.
Tonight, Taylor Cole coming down from Cartersville. He's in the Ward Roloff sponsored Savage chassis. Looks like he's maybe not quite getting up to speed, but let's see if he unwinds it. As we're in Group 3 of our Hot Lap qualifying in our crate late models. Race fans on Flow coming up after this super late model Hot Laps. We'll roll onto the track. You'll hear the voices of Ben Shelton and Dustin Jarrett calling all of that action tonight.
So number 1 of Ty Ellis right there on your screen. He's always one to watch in 602 crate late models. Ty Ellis right now 9th quick in this Hot Lap qualifying session. White flag out. The number 16 of Bubba Scott, a 602 late model sportsman car running crates, has jumped up to the top of the board.
Tim, just as you speak, Ty Ellis rockets to the top of the board, 14.172. Tim, I don't know if I've ever seen a 13-second lap in a crate car here, even when we've had the crate tours in and drivers like Will Harrington in crate. So a super fast gray clay surface here on this 3/8 mile stage, located about 25 miles southwest of Atlanta, Georgia. If you are watching on Flow, one of the famous things Senoia is known for besides this raceway, this is where The Walking Dead was filmed. At this track back in 2010, a scene in the movie Footloose when they did a remake was filmed. Tim, we were talking about that earlier, and you said you were actually an extra in the filming
I was
of that
an
scene.
extra and got to spend a day with Julianne Hough, which was bad, let me tell you. Got to spend a day with her, so but it was we like I told you, we were here filming racing scenes at 7:30 in the morning that day, so I can remember being an extra, spending the day and everything. So it was a lot of fun to do that.
A recent Marvel movie, or a Marvel movie that has not even been released yet, was filmed here this summer. We look forward to how that works out. Other movies filmed in and around Senoia include Driving Miss Daisy and Fried Green Tomatoes. So a lot of movies have been made either at this track or in and around the way. Also, a little bit different note, the music video Pedal to the Metal by the rap group The Core was released October 27th. It featured scenes filmed right here at the racetrack, as well as in the garage of mini stock driver, the Mad Dog, Mark Newton. So it looks like our 4th group of crates rolling on track, Tim.
And John, what gets me is right there qualified in 2nd right now. 2nd quick, the 16 of Bubba Scott with a 602. It's Wesley. So, okay, that's his father, Wesley Scott. But that's should be, I don't know if that's his 602 then or his limited late model car. So, right there, Wesley Scott. Bubba Scott, his son, runs a 602 late model sportsman as we got the next group. 37 crate late models signed in. So, we got the next group on the track here.
And, Tim, last night we've mentioned some names that are running their 602 in the crate class. Jake Traylor was running a 602 last night. Now he has his normal number 42 crate car on the track. So really a mashup of drivers in this class. If they're running a true 604, they'll have about 400 horsepower.
That's Chase Baker right there on the screen in the number 11.
Yeah, if they're in a 602, they'll have about 50 less. So on a tacky track like tonight, they're going to want maximum power if they can stick it to the ground. I also see the hardhead, Ryan Ray, powering his 1A down the back straightaway. Ryan picked up a win earlier this year as well as he was second in the points championship. There we see Ryan, the second red car in that tandem. And I believe the car right in front, that 9, is Brian Womack, coming down from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Officially scored as GB9. Looks like a number 9 red and black car. White flag coming out on this group. Tim, so far I don't see any drivers that have cracked the top 5 in scoring.
The 117 is Shirley right there. He's showing 18th quick right now as they're all coming back. Final lap, checker flag. Still the same at the top of the board. The 1E of Ty Ellis, Wesley Scott, and Matt Dooley, your top 3. As we got another group here led out on the track here, start finish line. One of our young guns in this group, Kyler Haygood. The 17K here going into turn 1.
Also want to mention, with 38 crate late models signed in tonight, we'll lock in a number from hot lap qualifying. We will have 2 B mains to fill out the field, and they will run a 20 lap feature later in the program. So we just see our 4th group of cars rolling into the pits across the scales. Next group of cars coming out, and it's led by the number 40 in the Firebull Enforcer Longhorn. That's Tina Johnson, the First Lady of racing here at Senoia Raceway. Tim, I know you said it's your sister out on track in that 40, so no, she's been working hard to get dialed in for the show tonight.
She is, and it's going to be bad fast. Put the medal down and go, Tina. That's all I can say. It's going to be bad fast, and right there on the screen, that's my sister Tina Johnson. There she running dirt now, but back several years ago running Legends cars on asphalt at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Won the championship. First female to ever win a championship in the Masters division in Legends at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So sold all of our Legends stuff, been running dirt, and our father raced dirt here, helped build the track in 1969.
Well,
so
Tim,
I
got to give a shout out to your dad. I came in, Sammy Cooper was on the Bobcat, rolling up and down the hill, making sure that everything was nice and packed here. So it takes a village to make things happy. Thanks to Mr. Sammy Cooper. Other cars rolling out here on track. Both the Haygoods are out on track. They tried their hand in the Supers last night. Kyler Haygood has his typical red 17 on track. His father, Lamar, is driving in the white and blue number 13 that you see on screen right there. Both the Haygoods joining us from Douglasville. We have some cars that we haven't seen maybe all year. Tim, the number 4, Rye Falk, coming up from Dublin, Georgia, is also joining this group. And right now, Falk, 4th quick, 14.222 seconds. That would start him on the outside of the 2nd row. Here we're riding along with Falk as he grinds down into turn number 1. Let's see if he can improve and maybe move up onto the front row. Checkered flag waving. We might get a couple more times that clip in to the system. And Falk not able to improve.
I actually have saw this Rye Falk guy there race up in the North Georgia area up at Boyd Speedway. Is always hard to beat, and crates up there. It's good to see him at Senoia Raceway tonight. Come down here. All the racing in that area is pretty much done for a while, so he's down here right now. You said he's 4th quick, and he's always wanted to beat up there at Boyd Speedway. So down here at Senoia Raceway, I think he come a couple of years ago and hadn't been here this year, so he's going to up there in the top 5 now. Yeah, these are hobbies here.
Time. Couple more hobbies coming out for hot lap qualifying to conclude their session, and then after that we should step up to the super late models. And that number 36 on screen right now, James Swanger, hobby stock champion this season here at Senoia Raceway, stacked up several wins in that DNA auto machine, so good to see Swanger making the drive over from Whitesburg this evening. Also on track, Greg Thomas in the 72 XX, a white car with blue lettering. And Tim, I would almost swear that the third car on the track, that black car, really looks like a bomber that's out there. Although it does list as Brandon Francis coming down from Ringgold. So that a little bonus hobby stock hot lap qualifying session. So with 38 crate late models, we're going to lock a set of them in and then have 2 B mains, 6 laps each. If it was like last night, top 3 will transfer to tack onto the back of the 20 lap feature. And with that, we're going to welcome up to the microphone the announcers for the Castrol FloRacing Night in America Super Late Model Tour. Dustin Jarrett, Ben Shelton, take it away, guys.
Thank you, John. As we get set for DirtDraft.com Hot Laps, 48 now had a few late arrivals. 48 Castrol FloRacing Night in America Super Late Models signed in for action. $53,053 on the line for tonight's winner of the 75-lap finale. DJ, with 4 new entries tonight, we've had 219 drivers try to enter at least one event this year, and 11 events, not too shabby for the tour here in 2022.
We got back to the house last night. You had me guess how many.
You were close.
We'd had, yeah. I said 205, I think, and it was 215.
215 last night, 4 new ones tonight. Look at this. Watching the broadcast in the grandstands. We love you guys.
That's cool, yeah, awesome.
That is very cool.
Awesome, that's cool.
Don't miss a moment of the action.
Cool. What a day, man.
Oh, what a week.
What a day. What a week.
What a week. Mother Nature's not been a race fan, but we don't give up.
We should have known, buddy, when you and I went to downtown Senoia today and could not find a parking spot to go to the coffee place.
And at that time, it was the Chamber of Commerce day. The sun was out. It was 71 degrees. It was gorgeous.
We may have been under the influence of not enough sleep as well as we were.
Not enough dinner. That was.
We were driving.
You know what?
around
How
town.
about these race fans, though? Despite the hurricane, despite today, they've come out. Great crowd on hand. This place, there's people all the way around this racetrack. This is one of those places where you have trackside parking all the way around. You have parking in the infield. You got the grandstand area. You got the pits. This is a very deceptive facility with a lot of folks here. There's over 100 campers in the parking lot. And we thank you all from the bottom of our heart, not only on Castrol FloRacing Night in America, but also the Pollard family, Senoia Raceway. Thank you for spending your hard-earned money with us, and thank you for believing in this event.
Yeah, absolutely, Ben. Make plans to be here next year as well. I mean, this thing was, again, over 50 super late models entered. The high here yesterday was close to 70. The high today up over 70 at about 12 or 1 o'clock or so. Cooling off a little bit this evening here as it does in the south in the fall. But, man, a great crowd, a great field of cars. And hopefully, if you are not here, if you're watching at home live on Flow, you can make plans to be here next year for the Peach State Classic.
Well, a few notes tonight. So by our rules, if 48 or more are signed in, we typically go to 6 heat races. When draw closed tonight, we had 46 signed in. So we're committed to Group A and B. It'll be 4 heats. We've had 2 late arrivals. We'll stay at 4 heats. There'll be 10 laps apiece. Top 4 out of each heat move off to the main event. We'll have 2 B mains. Top 4 out of that move off to the main event. 24 cars, 2 drivers eligible for provisionals here tonight, and that will be the B5 of Brandon Shepard and the 58 of Garrett Alberson should they need it, and they would start 25th and or 26th. As super late models making their way out in the first car rolling through turns 1 and 2, that's Matt Long making his first appearance of the weekend out of Concord, North Carolina, the NJR Group LLC ML Performance Hendren-powered Rocket XR1. Behind him in car 58, that'll be Garrett Alberson. Podium finish last night for the 2022 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Rookie of the Year out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. 3-time winner this year. The Nutrien Ag Solutions Fast Shafts, Dunright.TV, car 58.
Behind him will be Woodstock, Georgia's Jason Croft in the number 4, the Clemens-powered Capital race car, the Croft Heating and Air sponsored number 9. He'll be followed out by the Fayetteville, Georgia driver. That is Bailey Williams in the Malkut-powered Rocket chassis. The Williams Body Works RSD Enterprises, number 17.
And our champion makes his way out. That'll be Brandon Shepard in the B5, the driver out of New Berlin, Illinois. $75,000 richer by entering tonight's event for Castrol FloRacing Night in America. He's our champion this year, and he is in the Valvoline Rocket XR1 Pro Power Racing engine. Dennis G. Woodworth, attorney at law, B5. The 148 rolling off into turn number number 3. That'll be Booger Brooks, a 44-time winner this year, the 2022 Red Clay Late Model Series champion. The Dustin Dixon Racing Close Racing Supply 525 powered Savage by BBR race car.
Over in turn number 3 now, in that blue number 24, that's going to be Tanner Collins, the Franklin, Georgia driver of the Extreme Auto and Truck Repair Rocket XR1. Number 24, and he'll be followed out by Dalton Cook out of Smith Station, Alabama, in the Riverside Window and Door Parkers towing Clemens-powered Rocket XR1 number 44.
Well, a guy that did get dinner last night joins us in the infield. He headed to IHOP. We didn't get invited. Travis Scott. Travis, it's been quite the day, my friend, but we're about to see green flag on Super Late Model Hot Laps.
Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, looks like we're in for yet another great night of racing, and I think one thing we've learned this weekend is you never count out this track staff here at Senoia Raceway. Very much committed to getting this weekend in. There's been multiple points throughout this week, including some today, where we've all kind of said, I'm not really sure we're going to get this one in, but racetrack looks good. Talking to Clint Smith down here a few moments ago, who's on the staff here, and he said, it's got a completely different racetrack tonight than we did last night. I think we're going to be fast and maybe even track record fast per Clint Smith. So something to look forward tonight.
Well, I tell you what, everybody's been all hands on today. Travis, you've done a phenomenal job out there. And yeah, looking for a great night of racing. We'll see DirtDraft.com hot laps for Castrol FloRacing Night in America, all 48 entries. Then they'll head back to the pit area. They'll get ready for Renegade Race Fuels qualifying. That'll determine the lineups for heat races 1, 2, 3, and 4 tonight. And like I said, whether it be the 4 heat races or the 2B mains, the top 4 out of every one of those races move on. And, man, just can't say enough about this staff. No quit in them, no quit in these fans, and no quit in these racers as we get set to get things underway here tonight on what has proved to be a challenging night, but it's going to be a good night here in Senoia, Georgia.
A challenging weekend, Ben. We've had to fight off a hurricane, old man winter coming tomorrow. Tomorrow's high is about 49 degrees here, as we were able to sandwich in this year's Peach State Classic and overcome a ton of adversity. And again, it's been well documented all weekend long. And as I challenge anyone to find a harder working and more dedicated staff than what we've seen right here at Senoia Raceway this weekend. Brandon Shepard right now on top of the leaderboard in Dirt Draft Hot Laps with a 13740. DirtDraft.com, if you've not yet done so, go in and set your fantasy lineup for tonight, the last Castrol FloRacing Night in America event of 2022. Set that lineup at DirtDraft.com.
Well, the driver that's set on Go Fast right now, Brandon Shepard, 13.740, the 2022 Castrol FloRacing Night in America champion, a 4-time World of Outlaws champion, and he was second in the Lucas Oil standings in 2022. Coming up next will be the 3S of a squirrel, Brian Shirley out of Chatham, Illinois, the Bob Cullen Racing, Hoker Trucking, Thompson Express, Durham-powered Rocket XR1, 3-time winner this year is Brian Shirley in the 3S. And behind him, you're defending... Nope, scratch that. The other, it looked like him for a second. This will be the 19R of Ryan Gustin out of Marshalltown, Iowa. The Rocket XR1 TriStar Engines, Molly Ramirez Motorsports, sponsor number 19R for Ryan Gustin. 5 wins this year for that driver.
He'll be followed out by the 2021 Dirt Track World Champion out of Chandler, Arizona, the SSI Motorsports Clemens-powered Longhorn, number 20 RT. It's Ricky Thornton Jr. He'll be followed by the driver out of Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania, and the Clemens-powered Barry Wright Icon, number 9Z. That is Mason Ziegler.
Behind him, 8-time winner this year, including 1 on the series out of Martinsville, Indiana, Hudson O'Neill in the Double Down Motorsports, Lazy Day RVs, O'Neill Salvage and Recycling, Lucas Oil, Cornet-powered Rocket XR1 for Hudson O'Neill. Behind him in car 17M, also with 8 wins on the year and also with a win on the tour. That'll be Chickamauga, Georgia's Del McDowell, the Mac Daddy, the National Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer, and the Easy Go Clot Synthetics, Cometic Gasket, Connected Strategy Advisors, Clements-powered Team Zero race car for Del McDowell.
2 other drivers on the track. Monty Vaughn, one of the late entries. He ran with us last night, but a late entry here this evening, the Lizella, Georgia driver of the number 50V. And J.R. Mosley, who had a good run last night. Ben, you and I talked about that during race day, made the show here yesterday. The Columbus, Georgia driver, the Clemens-powered Rocket XR1, the Mosley Auto Repair, Mosley Transport, sponsor number 99.
So again, fastest lap so far, 13.740. I believe last night Tyler Millwood went around a 13.5.
Yep.
And Renegade Race Fuels qualifying. We'll see what fast time will be here tonight. As the green flag is out, hot laps back underway. Castrol FloRacing Night in America here tonight. The finale from Senoia Raceway.
Last race of the year. Did you set a dirt? No, you did not. Did you? Shame on you, Ben Shelton.
I set a bottle of Tylenol out. Took most of it this afternoon.
That is, I can vouch for that. Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Yes, you did. I may have supplied. I might be your supplier.
You might thank you for the 500 milligram Tylenol for the win. As right now, everybody getting up to speed here in the second hot lap group. The joys of being a GM for a racing series, my friend.
There is never a dull moment. Everybody should try it at least once.
You know what? I'm very thankful.
That's right. Ricky Thornton Jr. was the quickest driver in this group. He gets surpassed by Ryan Gustin.
But he's back.
He's back. The Reaper. He does take it back. Yes, he does. Ricky Thornton Jr. quickest in this wave of hot laps, quickest overall right now in Dirt Draft hot laps with a 1.3434. Ryan Gustin goes second quick in that group and second quick overall. Mason Ziegler third quick in that group and fourth quick overall in Dirt Draft hot laps.
Next set of cars led out by last night's second place finisher in the Bilstein, Craig and Shannon Sims Motorsports Professional Concrete Cutting Services, Roth Heating and Cooling, Cornet Powered Longhorn. It's Spencer Hughes, a one-time winner this year in cart number 11, and he's joined by a driver that missed the show by one spot last night, the 99 of Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio, 10-time winner this year. This weekend behind the wheel of the Jeremy Bullins Racing Fitzgerald Collision Repair Durham Powered Longhorn. Also on the track in this set, the number 66K, that'll be Dylan Knowles, a 5-time winner this year out of Lynette, Alabama. The CP Diesel Performance, Sweet Victory Apparel, Clements Powered Rocket XR1. And the 157 of Mikey Marler got knocked out of the show late last night. He looked for redemption here tonight. The Delco Equipment Sales, Bilstein, Tri-River Enterprises, Can-Am Auto Salvage, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Cornet Powered Longhorn. In this set as well, the 22 of Peyton Freeman out of Commerce, Georgia, and the Coltman Farms, Gambler Transport, Boswell Oil, Cornet Lightning Longhorn. Austin Horton, and cart number 16, frequent flyer here at Senoia Raceway out of Noonan, Georgia, the Super K Express, Horse Towing, Franklin Enterprises, Clements Powered Rocket XR1. 9 wins on the year for Austin Horton, and final 2 cars will be the 19M of Will Harrington out of Hawkinsville, Georgia, the Yellowhammer Construction, Torco Advanced Lubricants, Neon Bubbles Car Wash, and the 66K, we talked about him, of Dylan Knowles. So also the 71K has made his way out, DJ. One other car in this set out of Statesboro, Georgia, in the Y Delta Inc. H&R Racing Engine Rocket XR1 for Jim Rogers.
So again, Dirt Draft, our sponsor of Hot Laps the entire season. If you have not yet got a DirtDraft.com subscription, I would highly recommend it. I think it's $6.99 for a month. And if you are a new subscriber, Ben, I would recommend using the hashtag FloRacing. Go to DirtDraft.com/FloRacing. New subscribers will get a free t-shirt. I actually don't know if that's still a thing or not, but if not,
you just made it one.
The heck with it. We'll send him a t-shirt.
Clint Dahl is like a billionaire. He can do it.
I know, and if not, I'll send him a t-shirt out of my closet. A St. Louis Cardinals t-shirt out of my closet.
You two are a billionaire. You two are a billionaire.
Yes, Clint and I both. Yes. Now, Dirt Draft, it's a lot of fun, and it certainly is a different way to watch races. Austin Horton, the quickest driver right now in this session of Dirt Draft hot laps with a 1.3585. Devin Moran, second quick in this group, fourth overall. Peyton Freeman is fifth quick overall, third quick in this group in the G.R. Smith owned 22 star. I talked to G.R. Smith in the pit area just a few minutes before I came up here, Ben, and he said, I think we've got speed. Peyton knows his way around the racetrack. He simply put, he said, we just need a little bit of luck to fall our way this evening.
Well, there's about 30 other guys looking for that luck after last night, as the next set of cards are led out by Dublin, Georgia's Pearson Lee Williams, the Rocket XR1, Jay Dickens Powered, Win Motorsports, Winland Development. Number 121, a one-time winner this year, is Pearson Lee Williams, as more cars make their way out to the Speedway. 48 signed in here tonight for action, and that's going to be, I believe, the 7-11 down there in 1 and 2 of Morgan Alexander out of Locust Grove, Georgia, the Alexander Produce, Chase Rodriguez, Inc., CT525 powered Savage race car.
A few other drivers making their way out on the Speedway. Will Rowland out of Jasper, Georgia, in the Rowland Tire Mountain Ridge Realty Vic Hill powered Capital race car, number 22. He'll be followed out by the driver that was running up near the front last night before Lady Luck dealt him a bad hand out of Gaffney, South Carolina. That is Chris Smokey Madden, the Henderson Amusement, Franklin Enterprises, Millwood Plumbing, Durham Rocket XR1, number 44. Another driver that was Ben obviously showed signs of speed here last night. The Vomac truck sales, McBride, Mack, Clements, Rocket XR1 out of Carpentersville, Illinois. It's your 2022 World of Outlaws Case Late Model Series champion, Dennis Erb Jr. in the 28.
A 17H rolls off into turn 1 out of Douglasville, Georgia. That's Lamar Haygood pulling double duty tonight. The Matt Bishop Racing Engine Rocket XR1 West Metro glass entry for Lamar Haygood. Right behind him, well, that's going to be his son. They're both pulling double duty tonight. Kyler Haygood, also out of Douglasville, Georgia, the ABS Automotive, ABS Towing and Recovery, Clements powered Rocket XR1 for Kyler Haygood. And look about that, DJ, new arrival here today.
It is. No, that is not.
Yes.
It's Dennis. Is that really Dennis Pure Damn Hale?
That's his nickname, Pure Damn Hale.
Yes,
yeah, that is in the Triple Eight car.
Out
Yes.
of LaGrange, Georgia. Very familiar with him. The Hale Well Service Rocket XR1.
Out of turn 2, yeah, down the back straightaway. I love the triple digit car.
did
Just
not
a
have him.
sucker for it.
Mike Boland.
He was, the triple deuce.
Oh, yeah.
The triple deuce.
Look at that. I like that car. That's cool, man.
Yes, Pure Damn Hell.
That's cool.
This weekend
It
for
even
some.
says it. It says Pure Damn Hell.
I
right
told
there on the
you,
bottom
you
of
didn't
this car.
believe
I
me.
know,
I get my
believe you.
notes.
Well, you're also drunk, so.
Well, hey, I need to be. I want to tell you what, this week at times has been pure damn hell. So I feel where Dennis Hell is at tonight. I love that race car, beautiful car. Kind of Jason Clyburn with the Triple A too.
It is Jason Clyburn-esque.
Yeah,
Yes,
especially with the
yes.
flames. I
very
Man, I
good
miss the
reference.
I used to get excited like the Show Me 100 because when the Clyburns pulled in, you had Jason, you had his brother Jimmy in the 88, and you had Father Don in the 8.
Yeah,
so you
give
knew
me
you
all
were
the
getting 3
Clyburns.
cars. It was like the Rigmans when Eddie still raced late models. In Mississippi, they come in 3s down there, I'm telling you.
Even the numbers.
That's right. Oh, off the backstretch wall. Hang on, Pearson Lee Williams. I thought he was going to catch the infield wall, too. And the 121 bites the concrete. He draws the caution. As
He might need help getting out of there,
He
too.
is sitting in the
He
pumpkin
is.
patch down there.
The pumpkin patch. Very well done.
Or as like John, he said that he's in the soggy bottom.
Oh, he is in the soggy bottom.
There comes the boys right there. Oh, look at that. Oh, can he do it?
Oh, well, this is good.
He's going to gun it and just flood that guy with mud. This could be epic. Stick with it, race fans.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Come on, PL.
Oh,
boo.
Oh, that's
this
Bubba,
man.
too. That was Bubba Pollard. Okay, never mind. I'm glad he didn't get Bubba Pollard covered in mud. I retract my previous statement.
Oh, poor Bubba.
Ben Shelton has been escorted off the property.
He will not be here next year.
I was rooting for the demise of the track proprietor. Never do that. That doesn't end well.
That was great.
Oh, well, how about, I mean, tell you what, he got very lucky not to catch that infield wall. How about the guy on your screen, Chris Smokey Madden? He won this race last year, 14-time winner this year, was fast last night, DJ, had a valve stem come off the tire, though.
Yeah, tough break for him. And now, remember, you and I talked about this earlier. There's going to be a very, very good chance this is the biggest career win for somebody here this evening. There's only a handful of drivers in this field that have won more than $50,000. This is a $53,000 to win race. I mean, you got to figure again outside of a Brandon Shepard, Dale McDowell, that might.
That's you got to think. How about Kyle Bronson? He won $53,000 at the Silver Dollar Nationals.
This is $53,000.
53 would be the biggest win by $53.
McDowell. I don't know. Maybe back in the day in the old.
McDowell's won the dream.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Come on, man, that's $100,000. Are you new?
I've never announced an Eldora before. I don't know.
You did announce him winning that race.
No, I did not. I did not announce him winning that. Did I?
Yes, you did.
Oh.
All right. Well,
Okay.
Ricky Thornton
Here we
Jr.
go.
still the fastest time back on the farm.
Yes, here we go. All right, reining it back in here a little bit.
Not really.
Not really.
All right, they're going to head back to the pit area. We've had 31 cars come out. We've got 48 in the pit area, so we're going to have probably 2 more groups. I'm going to be honest. They have shuffled the local division hot lap qualifying to the portion. I have no idea what's going to come out after us. I'm going to be as surprised and fascinated as anybody. John's got to announce them. He has no idea who the hell's coming out next. I mean, there's a lot happening.
Rigsby will know this. The college basketball team was Arizona State. Who used to do the curtain of where they pulled the curtain back, and you never knew, like when someone was shooting foul shots, who was going to be back there dancing, or what was going to be behind the curtain.
Rigsby will know that.
He
will
will know. He's shouting it probably right now in the studio.
He probably is as he eats his Chick-fil-A. The next set of cars come out. The 42 of Clay Knight out of North Augusta, South Carolina. 2021 Ultimate Late Model Series Champion Rookie of the Year. The M&W Transport Easy Go Clements powered Longhorn. And behind him, last night's Renegade Race Fuels Fast Qualifier out of Kingston, Georgia. The Rocket XR1 Durham Powered Competition Racing Equipment. Gray's Mobile Service entry for Tyler Millwood. He was the 17 Ultimate Champion and Rookie of the Year.
Behind him will be the driver out of Headingley, Manitoba, and the Turk Enterprises. J&C Properties, G-Style Transport, sponsored Vic Hill Sniper number 7. That is going to be Ricky Weiss. He'll be followed out by the Beaver Dam, Virginia driver of Russell Irwin. Yes, that is Russell Irwin.
Crikey.
In the Masters built number 22.
Did you see instead of Beaver Dam, when I typed it in, I put Weaver Dam. Not Randy Weaver Dam,
and
Virginia.
Not even all one word. You literally wrote Weaver Dam.
Not even the stupidest thing I've
you
done this
hear what
weekend.
he think? Randy's not. He's at Magnolia probably, yeah. There's Joseph Joyner.
Well, we didn't. Joseph Joyner wasn't sure if he's going to race tonight, but here he is. 6 wins on the year, including a $27,000 win in the Powell Family Memorial at All Tech Raceway a few weeks ago, and the Langenfelter Mechanical Contractors Capital Race Car.
I talked to those guys in the pit area real quick, Ben, and want to make sure I mention it. Might have misspoke last night. They thought that they thought they lost an engine last night. It was not the case.
Right.
They had an engine issue, but they did not lose a motor last night. I want to make sure I cleared that up.
I think it just popped, yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of Hunt the Front fans out there.
It is, and right behind him, the one in, that'll be Jordy Nipper out of Gray, Georgia, the Longhorn by WP. Clemens powered M&S Concrete. Scotty's muffler entry, 3 wins on the year for Jordy Nipper. And behind him, DJ, a guy that's $20,000 richer after last night.
Sure is. It's the driver of the race car engineering Borchers Equipment, Clements Rocket XR1 out of Brandon, Florida. It's going to be Kyle Bronson in the 40B, and one other driver on the track for this hot lap session is the driver out of Dahlonega, Georgia, in the Clements-powered Wolfpack. Oh my! It is the Wolfpack.
It's a Wolfpack race car.
It's the Wolfpack race car for the 5C of Corey Roulette.
You don't trust my notes, do you?
You did have a mistake on wins there last night for Kyler Haygood. So
that was not the only mistake. That was not the only mistake.
So that's the 05 of 05C.
And where's he from again?
Dahlonega, a little dive bar in Dahlonega. There, Ashley McBride.
Okay, if you say so. I don't. Dahlonega. It was easy. So I remember last year when I met him. That's why I've got Cumming, Georgia beside me. Because some people just say Cumming, Georgia. I'm like, I'm much better with that than Dahlonega.
I can see where Dahlonega, you could get Cumming out of that
pronunciation. You see what I did phonetically, though? I tried to get Da-Lon-Aga.
Yeah, the Aga might be...
Iga.
Yes.
Dahlonega.
I'm
all over it. All right.
A little dive bar in Dahlonega.
Get your dirt draft lineup in.
My dirt draft lineup is set, baby. I am 22nd in the season-long point standings.
Cheating.
Heading into tonight out of, like a billion people. Well, maybe not quite that many. Ricky Thornton Jr. still atop the leaderboard here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Austin Horton lays down the second quick lap right now. Gustin Moran and Peyton Freeman, your top 3. We'll see if anybody in what is probably the second to last group of cars on the speedway has anything one of those top times. Track, I tell you what, the track really kind of cleaning off nice here, Benji. As you can see by the lap times, these guys are no longer turning rocket speed times in the lower 13s. Now they're laying down lap times in the upper 13, lower 14-second bracket. I think that's what this track needs.
We'll keep an eye down in turn 4. She could have a little character tonight. She's got a few little whoop-de-doos down there. Racetrack looking great otherwise, though. Ricky Thornton Jr., 13.434. Still the fastest time we've seen in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Next set of cars come out, and Morgan Bagley made his debut here last night. He said, I'm going to be honest, that was not my cup of tea last night.
We were heckling him in the pits
Well, it's
earlier.
fun.
It is fun.
He's in the 14M, the Rocket XR1 Clements powered entry out of Longview, Texas. P&W sells Billy Bob's Repair and Tire P&W Ironworks entry, and sneaking past him in front of him, the number 12. That'll be Ashton Winger, the Hampton, Georgia driver, the Rocket XR1 Pro Power Racing Engine, Jeff Matthews Racing, Johnny Doan Plumbing, and Recreational Vehicle Select, car number 12.
We move back to the middle of turns 1 and 2, and
you know who that is.
You got it. Oh, that is Michael Page. Yes. Well, I didn't see him at the Senoia Coffee Company
this
morning.
So
like
you
I
were
usually
worried
do.
about him.
It's the driver of the Troy Baird Motorsports TNT Trucking Durham powered Stinger, number 18X. He'll be followed by Parker Martin out of Cochran, Georgia, in the Southeastern Performance powered Longhorn chassis, number 6JR.
Riding down the middle of the back straightaway is the Schaefer Rail Spring Nationals champion this year, Carson Ferguson, the Hoop Hog Grading Company, WP Racing Shocks, Dunwell's Custom Kitchen, and Poorhouse Longhorn race car with Cornet Power. Carson Ferguson picked up 3 wins this year, and behind him the 0 of Scott Bloomquist out of Mooresburg, Tennessee. The Team 0 Vic Hill powered Hot Rod Septic, Clap Cattle, Petrov Towing, Weld Racing, Dirt Draft, Go Lithium 0. And the 1 car Final Carmel Speedway, that'll be Turbo Tyler Erb, the New Waverly, Texas native, the Clements powered Rocket XR1 Bulk Material Lift, First Class Septic, Geyers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, and Roberts Speed Company. 1T for 10-time winner this year, Turbo Tyler Erb.
So again, track cleaning off a lot. As you mentioned, you made a good point. Turns Turn 4 especially, it's got a little more character in it. The rest of the track looks absolutely outstanding here this evening, and we're seeing it by the lap times. Again, no longer turning lap times in that lower to mid 13-second range. 14.2 for Tyler Erb. There's a 13.6, a good lap for Ashton Winger. As we say that, Winger proves me wrong. He goes fourth quick. 14.7 for Michael Page as he crosses the stripe. 14.4 for Carson Ferguson. I think we got a really good track here tonight. Michael Page always, man, he's always got one of my favorite race cars. Always a very clean-looking black, gray, and hot pink number 18X.
Yeah, his father recently passed away, and he told me he's only run about half a dozen races this year. His heart just has not been the same without his dad at the track, Travis.
Yeah, guys, just want to give you an update out of that last group. Parker Martin pulled up lame at the bottom of 3 and 4. Then when he came off of turn 4 down here by me, was not under power, so he may have a problem on the 6 car. And you guys talked about the turn 4 little character spot at the top of turn 4, Bubba Pollard and Clint Smith. Already got a game plan here. They're going to go to work shortly on fixing that little rough patch in turn 4, and they think we're going to have a really good racetrack that's clean from top to bottom.
All right, thanks a lot, Travis. I got to tell you what, whatever Bubba Pollard says, I wholeheartedly believe now, especially after he stood down there in the trailer and told us he thought he could have the track ready in an hour, and instead about 30 minutes.
And then you rooted for him to get covered in mud down there. I don't understand what's wrong with you.
Don't think that happened.
Well,
nope.
I am very excited to see what comes out next. John, we're going to hand it back to you. John, which division will come out next for their hot lap qualifying?
Well, thank you, Ben. I do want to keep Dustin on for a second to talk about Dahlonega. I don't know how Ben doesn't know about it. It really was the center of the gold rush here in Georgia in the 1830s. If you like to visit town squares, Dahlonega has a great
fun little
square built around the courthouse. I'll say Noonan, Georgia has another great one. That's the county seat here of Coweta County where Senoia is located. So on paper, the Bombers are coming out next. We'll see what actually appears in reality. So,
real quick, John, speaking of town squares, how about the little downtown part of Senoia, Georgia here? For the folks that have not been here before, restaurants, shops, boutiques, places to eat, bars. I highly recommend, again, anyone watching at home, come down and spend a weekend with us next year. Come down and camp, grab a hotel. Downtown Senoia, you could really, guys, the wife don't want to come to the races, let her stay in downtown Senoia for a while. There is something to do there for everyone. You can literally spend an entire day or an entire weekend right there in downtown.
Really, we found this weekend with the Peach State Classic, you're getting those sort of small town values with southern hospitality, and that's what you see in downtown Senoia. Bees Freeze, one of our vendors out that does the New Orleans style snowballs, they're a shop down in Senoia. We've talked about HJ Wings and things. They're outside of downtown, but just part of the environment that you get around here. It's not just a racing track that's in the middle of nowhere. We have this nice little town just a couple miles down the highway.
And they talk about The Walking Dead being filmed in Senoia. Some of the actors in that, Daryl from The Walking Dead, Norman Reedus. If you saw the restaurant down there, Nick and Norm's. Norman Reedus, who plays Daryl in the show, that is his restaurant.
Tim, you weren't an extra in that one in The Walking Dead. Okay, just in Footloose.
And the food there is awesome. Hamburgers are great. The drinks are great. So if you ever hear Nick and Norm's, that is one of the producers of The Walking Dead and Norman Reedus to play Daryl in the movie. That's their restaurant. The food's awesome. Great atmosphere in there. And a lot of times Norman Reedus is in there talking with the fans. So if you ever hear for that, you can see that.
So I got to tell you something. Our guy DJ, he knows nothing about Walking Dead. Last year they had Alexandria in the middle of town. They had everything. I was geeking out over it, and he was looking at me like I was the biggest nerd ever. And I am a big nerd, not for that reason, but I tell you what, I love they did that here. It was kind of sad to see him taking the set down this week as we were in town, though.
Well, really, it's been just a part of the growth of the Hollywood South that we have here in the metro Atlanta area. Walking Dead, we mentioned earlier, Tim, before the broadcast went live. Footloose had a scene made here in the 2010 remake. Fried Green Tomatoes had scenes filmed in Senoia. Driving Miss Daisy, not quite a race car driving movie, but Driving Miss Daisy had scenes filmed here as well.
If you can't get behind Morgan Freeman and Jessica Tandy or whatever, I don't know what's wrong with you. And Fried Green Tomatoes, I'm not afraid to admit. My guilty pleasure movies, they're a league of their own. If that was filmed here, we'd have the trifecta, but it wasn't. But so much history. It's just kind of interesting. This little town's had so much Hollywood history in it.
And you talking about Walking Dead? If you remember I don't remember what season, but the season that had the governor on The Walking Dead, that is downtown Senoia where the governor lived. All that area is right there is downtown Senoia. That's where the governor lived.
I did not know that.
Yes, that is downtown Senoia.
So they shut all that down for that show.
They shut all that down. and the actual house at the end of him being on there where they burned it down was there, and they burned it down. So that whole area is downtown Senoia.
See, next year when we come back.
If you rewatch The Walking Dead, the season of the governor were on there, they would close that off. And Nick and Norm's, I'm talking about, is right there, and you don't know it. And actually, years ago, Nick and Norm's used to be a restaurant that Zach Brown, the country singer Zach Brown, owned it, because Zach Brown lives 20 minutes from here.
All right, now wait a minute.
So,
is it Ben or Dustin that doesn't listen to country that we need to bring up to speed here? It's Ben. Ben,
No,
do you know Zach Brown?
I know who Zach Brown is,
okay.
to be fair. And let's be honest, he's like a crossover type. He's not.
Correct.
And I do know some country. I just don't know to the stalker level that Dustin knows about country artists. So.
But Zach Brown lives about 20 minutes from here. Is where he lives in that restaurant where Nick and Norm is now. It used to be his, and he sold it to them.
Tim, and we can't talk about music in this area and not mention Alan Jackson. They've named the highway after him.
It's hot, and I thought drive it's hotter than a Chattahoochee. See, I know a little bit, not much. Oh my, Alabama and Ole Miss tied up.
Yeah, we wanted to give one football update. Fans in the Seating Bowl, Tim and I have done this before. The score, Alabama 24, Ole Miss 24. They go to the fourth quarter tied in Oxford, Mississippi. We'll have some updates through the night. Georgia's going to be playing starting at 7 o'clock. I know there's a lot of Georgia fans in the Seating Bowl. They're playing Mississippi State tonight over in Starkville. So, Tim, looks like the Bombers are staged up for racing next after we get done with a little bit of track prep. Race fans watching on Flow, we'd love to have you here at Senoia. We've talked about some of the environment. It's more than just a great little racetrack. It's just a great experience to come here.
Well, I can speak firsthand. I love it. Hope you can join us next year. Join us at any point. We're going to step aside for just a second. Thanks some of our marketing partners. When we come back, last set of prelims hot lap qualifying before opening ceremonies.
Right from the start began with my grandfather in 1928. He believed if you didn't do things right the first time, you wouldn't have that job to do much after that. And that's what we believe at Baum Chevrolet Buick to this day. Whether it's listening to your transportation needs or your repair needs, we want to ease your mind and do it thoroughly, correctly the first time so we can see you again. Baum Chevrolet Buick, right from the start.
Relying on racing stripes to boost your car's performance? That's not confidence. Sporting the mother of all mega spoilers? That's definitely not confidence. Relying on Castrol Edge to unlock maximum performance? Now that's confidence. It's 3 times stronger than the leading full synthetic, with 10 times better high temperature performance. It's confidence in a bottle. Castrol Edge. Maximum performance. Maximum confidence.
What you do in the dark determines who you are in the light. Are you willing to put it all on the line? Will you seize your opportunity to become legendary? Pit Stop USA. Live like legends.
Dirt Track Fantasy Racing is here with Dirt Draft. With action from the hottest drivers across all major dirt series, put your knowledge to the test with Dirt Draft. Sign up, draft your team, and redeem points for hundreds of different prizes. And for the first time ever, you can be crowned an official series fantasy champion. You can't play all season if you don't play today. To play, just go to dirtdraft.com or download the Dirt Draft app today. Become a fantasy racing champion.
You can get those over here coming up to the main grandstands. There's a ticket booth there set up, and also on the RonnieThames.org website.
Welcome back, Flo Racing fans, to Senoia Raceway for the final night of the Peach State Classic. Bomber hot lap qualifying on track right now. Bombers are the entry-level full-size division here at Senoia Raceway. V8 engines powering the rear wheels. These cars are the heaviest cars we see here on a weekly basis, weighing about 3,100 pounds. Chris Steele in the white, red, and blue number 29, joining us from Franklin, Georgia, is on your screen, heading up into turn number 1. So it looks like we should have 2 groups of bombers tonight, with 11 signing in for racing action. Most of these cars are Monte Carlos. These were cars that were born on the street. You'll see an occasional Camaro mixed in as we have one spinning around in turn number 2. It looked like that was the 97 Bryson Usury coming up from LaGrange.
Can't tell. There's a 29 of Chris Steele there, is the one to watch in this class, and the one everybody was chasing at the end of the year. Also there, another one, the 107 of Chaz Haskins.
Wait a minute.
Usually runs 602 late model sportsman, and he won last night in 602 late model sportsman. So he's out here tonight in a bomber. He's always fast in this bomber too, wherever he goes, especially at Cochran Motor Speedway and here at Senoia when he's here.
So in these bomber cars, you won't hear chassis makes like Rocket or Longhorn. These really are street cars that they've crafted into racing machines. There we have the yellow number 30, Timmy Bosley, coming over from Phoenix City, Alabama, getting up to the high groove here. So Tim, maybe we're seeing the track widen out a lot more than we did last night. So this first group of cars will head to the scales and make everything official. After that, we'll get the second group of cars rolling up on track. While we have a pause, would like to give a special mention to some of the sponsors that have helped put together this Peach State Classic: Pro Fabrication, 5-star race car bodies, DirtCarLift.com, Factory Canopies, HJ Wings and Things, that tasty luncheon today, Senoia America, ATC Bolts, Cirque Motorsports, Race Car Engineering, Dynamic Drivelines, Strange Oval, DRP Performance Products, Byron Power Sports Outdoor Superstore, Atkins Appraisal, and RaceRanch.com. They're the QuickTime sponsor in our super late models. They have a hauler over in the apparel area. You can head on over and see Matt. They have among their apparel Longhorn items and apparel for RTJ and Ryan Gustin.
Well, John, here we go there. My favorite car on the track, the number 4 here coming off turn 4, Michael Nims.
But Tim on screen right there, that's right 16. There. Scott Amison, our winner 3 weeks ago, notching his first bomber win of the season. So good to have Scott back with us, as we had the number 1 car pull in and retire
William Blair
early.
There. Looks like William Blair, the number 1.
Yeah, Tim, you're right. There's that number 4 on screen. Michael Nelms bringing the past back in that 50s era Chevy.
And he's been fast, and he come out with it a couple weeks ago. So that number 4 there, leaving it the old rustic color.
So white flag coming out on hot lap qualifying group number 2 in our bombers. That's Blant Duke, the Whitesburg Warrior, in the blue and pink 00 in the DNA Auto Supply Monte Carlo. Blant ran in the 602s last night. He's picked up some wins this year running. Tim, I think he's run maybe more divisions than anyone else. He's run everything from 604 down to this bomber division.
Yeah, and don't forget those limited runs he had and some misfortunes of almost getting wins and involved in wrecks. Especially here coming off turn 4,
picked up
coming to the
that
checkers, and a lap car clipped him and allowed Bailey Williams to get by and get the win. So
So
right now, looks
quick-
like Bland is quick time in the
Yeah, doesn't look
bomber.
like the times published yet for the first group, but in the second group, Blant Duke 17.437 seconds. Then Scott Amos and Michael Nelms in that 50 Chevy, and that's your top three from that group. So the Bombers are going to clear the decks, which I believe is going to bring up our super late models for their qualifying session. Well, race fans, as Tim, Ben, and Dustin and I were all chatting, we would love to have you here next year for the Peach Day Classic or for a regular weekly show. There's so much to do, so many direct flights into Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta Airport. You can get, Tim, I'm thinking hundreds of locations fly direct to Atlanta. So it's an easy flight in, and we're just 25 miles south-southwest of the airport. Hop in a rental car, and you're here in about a half hour.
And John has a free place for you to stay. So he's on the north side of Atlanta, up in the rich neighborhood. So John's got to get a place on the north side of Atlanta up there. We can get you Uber down from John's place.
I'm confused. Are you talking about me? Because that doesn't sound like my life there going on. So
yep.
All right. Well, we'll see what can make that happen. All right. Enough banter with some local classes. We're going to speed things up and return the super late models onto the track for their qualifying. So step on up, Dustin. Step on up, Ben.
This is a tough act to follow.
Fantastic, man. I'm telling you. Well, John's going to let us stay at his house. Tim's going to make us filet mignons every night.
The problem is John lives, what's it take to get from your house here, John?
With or without traffic?
With traffic.
Yeah, with traffic, yeah.
Like maybe 2 hours.
I mean,
So if
you
he
live in
lives
Los
2 hours
Angeles, what are
away,
we
yeah,
doing?
it's only an hour and 59 minutes farther away than we're staying.
That's unbelievable. All right, let's talk about this. We're getting for Renegade Race Fuels qualifying tonight. Your first qualifier is going to be Jason Croft out of Woodstock, Georgia. The Clements-powered Capital Race Car carrier. Croft Heating and Air sponsors on that number 9. He'll be joined by the 9Z of Mason Ziegler, the Barry Wright Icon House Car. Clements Power under the hood, the JLE Industries, Imperial River Transport, Ohio Pilot Vacation Rentals, number 9Z for Mason Ziegler. And your third qualifier, the 24 of Tanner Collins out of Franklin, Georgia. The B&B Performance Racing Engine by Competition Racing Equipment, Extreme Auto and Truck Repair, CP Diesel Performance, and Exit 18 Nutrition, all sponsors on the number 24 Rocket XR1 for Tanner Collins.
And also want to remind everyone, Ben, JM Laser Engraving once again doing a custom pit mat for the overall fast qualifier here this evening. They did that last night. They're doing it again tonight. You and I saw that down in the trailer in the pit area. Man, that thing looks sharp. Great job by the great folks from JM Laser Engraving. Mason Ziegler, 14.378. Jason Croft, 1.4667. And Trevor Collins, 1.5108 on lap number 1. Second lap for Croft, not as good. Second lap for Ziegler, a little better, 1.4376. And the second lap time on Tanner Collins is not as good. So Mason Ziegler lays down the first time to beat at 1.4376.
Up next will be Garrett Albertson out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. The Black Diamond Clements Power, Nutrient Ag Solution, Roberts Motorsports, Fast Shafts, Dunright.tv, Day Motorsports, Sunoco, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Clements Powered, Black Diamond, number 58 for Garrett Albertson. We got one in the fence down in turn 1 and 2, and that's the 17W of Bailey Williams out of Fayetteville, Georgia. Maybe no harm, no foul. Backed it in the corner, and looks like no damage on the rear end of that race car. A Malkett Racing Engine Rocket Chassis, sponsored by Williams Body Works, RSD Enterprises, SAE Parts, and Helping Hands Lawn and Landscape, the 2022 limited weight model track champion.
Some sort of a s'mores?
What? That looks delicious.
It's a s'mores coffee. What is that?
Jenna, not even sharing with us.
It didn't go to... Oh, my.
Nope.
Okay.
Also in this set, Dalton Cook, first time we've seen him this weekend, the 44D out of Smith Station, Alabama, the Riverside Window and Door, Parker's Towing, Finish Line Paint and Drywall, Peterbilt Clement Rocket XR1. Dalton Cook, that is not an Irish coffee. I know that just came through.
We could make it one.
Fair.
First lap time for Dalton Cook, fourth quick 1.4808. First lap time going up for Garrett Albertson. That is quick time, 1.3964. And Bailey Williams His best lap, 1:05.445. Second lap times now going up. Dalton Cook, second lap not as good. Second lap time for Garrett Alberson, not as good. And the second lap time for Bailey Williams, also not as good. Garrett Alberson now the time to beat after 6 cars, 1:3.964.
Coming up next, it'll be Ricky Thornton Jr., the 20 RT out of Martinsville, Indiana. SSI Motorsports, Hoker Trucking, Dyno 1, Westside Tractor, Excel 4 Covering, Big River Steel, Varsity Screen Printing, and High Performance Lubricants, Subsurface of Indiana. Clements Powered Longhorn, 5-time this winner this year is Ricky Thornton Jr., the 19R, the Reaper, Ryan Gustin out of Marshalltown, Iowa, also a 5-time winner this year. The TriStar Engine and Transmission, Molly Ramirez Motorsports, VP Racing Fuels, Penske, Performance Bodies, Rocket XR1, and joining him on the Speedway, the 148 of Booger Brooks, a 44-time winner this year, the KRC Power Steering, Close Racing Squad, Dustin Dixon Racing, CT 525 Savage Race Car.
Ricky Thornton Jr. second quick on lap 1. Ryan Gustin fourth quick on lap 1. Booger Brooks goes 6th quick on lap number 1. We'll see if anybody is able to improve on lap number 2. RTJ does not. Second lap time on Ryan Gustin a little better, 1:4.562. He stays 4th, and the second lap time on Booger Brooks is a little better. He stays 6th. So Garrett Alberson, Ricky Thornton Jr., Mason Ziegler, your top 3 cars.
Up next, the 3S car of Brian Shirley, Viscoril out of Chatham, Illinois, the Bob Cullen Racing, Hoker Trucking, Thompson Express, J&J Ventures and Gaming, KBC Graphics, Durham-powered Rocket XR1 3S. The 71 of Cody Haskins joins this set as well. That driver out of Marietta, Georgia, the KRC Power Steering, Kaiser Manufacturing 525 Savage Race Car, and with 17 of the Mac Daddy, Del McDowell out of Chickamauga, Georgia, the Easy Go Quad Synthetics, Cometic Gasket, Connected Strategy Advisor, Clements, Team Zero Race Car from Del McDowell in the 17M.
White flag going up for the 3S of Brian Shirley. His first lap, 8th quick, 1:4.952. First lap time on Dale McDowell. Third quick, 1:4.253. And J.R. Mosley, who was quick again in hot laps this evening, not going to be quick out of the gate in qualifying. He is 10th fastest. Brian Shirley, second lap, much better. He jumps up to 6th with a 1:4.631. Dale McDowell, second lap, not as good. He'll stay 3rd. And the second lap time for J.R. Mosley, much better. He jumps up to 6th quick with a 1:4.595. It's Garrett Alberson, Ricky Thornton Jr., now Dale McDowell, your top 3.
Well, Cody Haskins didn't make the call in that set. Next set of cars come out, the 99 car. That's going to be Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio. And the Jeremy Bollins Racing, Fitzgerald Collision Repair, AccuForce Dyno, Buzzy Racing Products, Bill Stein, Durham-powered Longhorn, 10-time winner this year is Devin Moran. He's joined by the 17K of Kyler Haygood. Haygood out of Douglasville, Georgia, the ABS Automotive, ABS Towing and Recovery, West Metro Glass, Clements-powered Rocket XR1, number 17. And the 71 of Hudson O'Neill, 8 wins on the year for the driver of the Double Down Motorsports, Lazy Day RV, O'Neill Salvage and Recycling, Lucas Oil, VP Racing Fuels, Cornette-powered Rocket XR1 for Hudson O'Neill.
White flag coming out for Devin Moran, 5th quick, 1:4.541. His first lap. First lap time for Kyler Haygood is 14th quick, 1:5.558. And the first lap time for Hudson O'Neill, he goes to 4th fastest, 1:4.268. Second lap time for Devin Moran, better. He's 5th quick, 1:4.346. Second lap time for Kyler Haygood, a little better, 14th, 1:5.431. And Hudson O'Neill jumps to 2nd fastest with a 1:4.116. Garrett Alberson, Hudson O'Neill, Ricky Thornton Jr., now your top 3.
Next out of Lynette, Alabama, it'll be Dylan Knowles, the Clements-powered Rocket XR1, CP Diesel Performance, Sweet Victory Apparel, SK Motorsports, nope, Fowler's Alignment and Brake Service, Clements-powered Rocket XR1. Joined on the Speedway by Matt Long. And the 55 out of Concord, North Carolina, the Hendren CT 525, Rocket XR1, NJR Group LLC, ML Performance entry for Matt Long. And joining them both on the Speedway, it should be Spencer Hughes, actually the 17H of Lamar Haygood, the driver out of Douglasville, Georgia, the Matt Bishop Racing Engine Rocket XR1. Looks like Spencer Hughes actually out there.
Yeah, I believe we got Dylan Knowles out there. We got Matt Long, Spencer Hughes, and Dylan Knowles in the 66. Hughes' first lap is 11th quick, Ben, 1:4.671. Dylan Knowles, his best lap is lap number 1. He's 13th quick, 1:4.725. And Matt Long on lap number 2. His best lap is lap number 2, as Matt Long is 18th quick, 1.5609. Spencer Hughes, his second lap, his best lap, 10th quick, 1.4633.
Spencer third last night. Next set of cars come out. There's Lamar Haygood out of Douglasville, Georgia. The Matt Bishop Racing Engine, Rocket XR1, West Metro Glass, Bishop Racing Engines, ABS Towing and Recovery sponsored entry. The B5-year champion, $75,000 richer by entering tonight's event. Out of New Berlin, Illinois, the Dennis G. Woodworth Attorney at Law, Wild Gear, the Goddard School, True Temper, Busch Light, Pro Power Racing Engine, Valvoline, Rocket XR1 for Brandon Shepard. And joining them both on the speedway, it is going to be Mike Marlar in the 157. That driver out of Winfield, Tennessee. The Delco Equipment Sales, Bill Stein, Tri-River Enterprises, Can-Am Auto Salvage, VP Racing Fuels, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Longhorn 157.
Lamar Haygood, 16th quick on lap 1, 1.5243. Brandon Shepard, 8th quick, 1.4568. And Mike Marlar, 7th quick, 1.4392. Second and final time for Lamar Haygood is going to be not quite as good. He'll stay 18th. Best lap number 1. Second lap time for Brandon Shepard, also not as good. He will be 9th fastest. And the second lap time for Mike Marlar, also not as good. He'll be 7th. Garrett Alberson, Hudson O'Neill, Ricky Thornton Jr., your top 3, Ben, after 21 cars.
Coming up next, we'll have Peyton Freeman out of Commerce, Georgia, the Coltman Farms, Gambler Transport, Boswell Oil, Victory Circle Auto Sales, Chatham and Tile. Car number 22 for Peyton Freeman, a 2-time winner this year, and joined by the final qualifier in Group A, the 50V car. Out of Lozella, Georgia, that'd be Monty Vaughn. Monty Vaughn in the 50V. Garrett Alberson, the only driver in the 13-second bracket, 13.964 of a time to beat.
We'll see if either of these two drivers have anything for the Las Cruces, New Mexico driver Garrett Alberson as Peyton Freeman about to wheel the Gambler Transport. Number 22 star off corner number 4. His first lap time is 17th quick, 1.5100. And the first lap time for Monty Vaughn is 23rd, 1.6082. Peyton Freeman going to bring that GR Smith-owned entry off corner number 4. He washes way high coming off the corner, and his second lap time is a little better. It'll be 17th, 1.4894, and the second lap time for Monty Vaughn also just a tick better. He's 22nd quick, 1.5472, and that will unofficially wrap up qualifying in Group A, with Garrett Alberson atop the leaderboard for Renegade Race Fuels qualifying in Group A with a 1.3964. Hudson O'Neill second quick with a 1.4116. Ricky Thornton Jr. third quick with a 1.4141. Dale McDowell fourth quick with a 1.4253. Those 4 drivers, with us running 4 heat races this evening unofficially, will be on the front row of their respective heat races. It was Devin Murray in 5th, Mason Ziegler 6th, Mike Marlar 7th, Ryan Gustin 8th, Brandon Shepard 9th, and J.R. Mosley rounds out the top 10 in Renegade Race Fuels qualifying in Group A. So as you mentioned, Ben, Garrett Alberson, the only driver in the 13-second bracket in that group with a 1.3964 right now. We will wipe the slate clean.
How about
and bring
Garrett
out the drivers.
Alberson?
Yeah, how about that?
Podium last night, picked up the Deep Fried 75 win on Sunday night at Duck River Raceway Park. How about Travis Scott? Travis, heard you got violated by a side-by-side or a Ranger down there. You okay down there, buddy?
Yeah, we'll have to play hurt, but we'll make it through the night. That was quite the experience there. So,
well, sorry you got run over.
yeah, that's a word for it. So, just there's such good food here at the concession stand. Somebody was in a real big hurry to get back and eat what they got at the concession stand. So that's kind of what happened.
I want to know who got hurt more, Travis or the Gator.
No, it wasn't a Gator. I promise you that. So that's as hard as I've been hit since playing football back in school days, I guess, right? So.
Oh, mine. You didn't even play football was the sad part.
You got that right. Yeah, you got that right. That's exactly.
Well, glad you're okay. Kelly Carlton told us to pick at you, but you got roughed up a little bit down there. Glad you're okay.
Yeah, I'm glad the microphone's okay. I protected the microphone, so D-Mac will be happy about that. Playing drone resuscitation last night, my main concern was to protect the microphone tonight. So
you're a team player, my friend. We appreciate that. We get set now for Castrol FloRacing Night in America Group B qualifying. This will make up the lineups for heat races 3 and 4. First up will be Hawkinsville, Georgia's Will Harrington, an 8-time winner this year, including his first 3 career super late model wins. And he's in the Yellowhammer Construction, Torco Advanced Lubricants, Neon Bubbles Car Wash, JCM Motorsports Cornet powered Rocket XR1 number 19M. The 121 got roughed up in hot laps tonight. We'll see if he can bounce back tonight in qualifying. Out of Dublin, Georgia, that's Pearson Lee Williams, the Win Motorsports, Win Land Development, Williams Body Shop, Penske Racing Racing Shocks Base Fuels, J. Dickens powered Rocket XR1. One win on the year for Pearson Lee Williams, and that came in Southern All-Star action down at Cochran Motor Speedway. And your third qualifier will be Jim Rogers in the 71K out of Statesboro, Georgia. The H&R Racing Engine Rocket XR1, Wide Delta Inc., Carter's Body Shop, and Total Tire and Auto Care of Statesboro, all sponsors on Jim Rogers 71K.
Want to send a big shout out to our good friend and a Wild West Shootout flagman, Jason Rominger, who is watching back home. Ben, looking forward to seeing Jason and the Wild West Shootout crew here in just actually less than 2 months now, about 60
week after
days.
Next, I think. Week after next.
About 24 hours out at the absolutely gorgeous state-of-the-art Vado Speedway Park just outside Las Cruces, New Mexico. First group of drivers on the track laying down their qualifying times. It's going to be the driver of the 121 Pearson Lee Williams.
There we go.
There we go. 14998. Will Harrington 15030. Check that. Harrington goes to the top of the leaderboard with a 14883. PL second lap time not as good. Jim Rogers comes around on lap number 2, and the 71K is not as quick. So Will Harrington, Pearson Lee Williams, Jim Rogers, how they shake out in this first wave of Renegade Race Fuels qualifying in Group B. 14883 for Will Harrington, the time to beat.
Up next, it'll be Mobags. Morgan Bagley out of Longview, Texas. The P&W Sales. Billy Bob's Repair and Tire. P&W Ironworks. Integra Shocks and Springs and Midwest Sheet Metal. Clements powered Rocket XR1 for the one-time winner this year, Morgan Bagley. Behind him, Dennis Erb Jr., this year's World of Outlaws Case Late Model Series champion. 7 overall wins on the year for the Vomac Truck Sales. McBride Mac, Ideal Ready Mix. Tools Auto Sales, Deegan's Garage. Clements powered Rocket XR1 for Dennis Erb Jr. And the 44-year defending Peach State Classic champion, Chris Smokey Madden out of Gaffney, South Carolina. The Henderson Amusement. Franklin Enterprises. Millwood Plumbing. Dryden Engine Oil and Greases. Worley Monument. Car 44 for Chris Madden.
Morgan Bagley to the top of the leaderboard. No, Dennis Erb Jr. to the top of the leaderboard with a 14549. Chris Madden third quick 14663. Second lap time for Mobags 14453. That's quick time in Group B. Dennis Erb Jr.'s second lap is not as good. And the second lap time for Chris Madden a little better, but he'll stay third, 14636. The pep talk we gave him must have worked. Ben Morgan Bagley out of Longview, Texas, now quick in Group B at a 14453.
Hey, he gave us a crotch chop after we picked on him, and now he's quick time early on. Up next, it'll be Ashton Winger in the 12 car out of Senoia, Georgia. The Pro Power Racing Engine Rocket XR1, Jeff Matthews Racing, Johnny Doan Plumbing, Recreational Vehicle Select, Kaiser Manufacturing, Credit Union Remarketing Solutions, number 12. On the speedway with him, the number 42 of Clay Knight out of North Augusta, South Carolina. The M&W Transport, Easy Go, Penske Shocks, Barron's Performance Warehouse, car 42 for Clay Knight. And the number 93, also on the speedway of Carson Ferguson out of Lincoln, North Carolina. The Hoopaw Grading, WP Racing Shocks, Dunwell's Custom Kitchen and Poorhouse, and Bill Stein, 93 for Carson Ferguson.
Ashton Winger, fifth quick on lap 1. You saw him slip up in 1 and 2, 14889. Clay Knight, seventh quick, 15557. And Carson Ferguson, fourth fastest, 14692. Second lap time for Ashton Winger should be much better. It's a little better, 14770. He is fifth fastest. Second lap time for Clay Knight is eighth quick, not as good. He'll be 15557. And the second lap time on Carson Ferguson, a hair better, 14672. He is fourth quick. Morgan Bagley, the time to beat in Group B, 14453.
Up next, it'll be Jordy Nipper out of Gray, Georgia. The Longhorn by WP. Clements powered M&S Concrete. Scotty's Muffler. Central Fence Company and VP Racing Fuels by Scotty's 1N. Joined on the speedway by the 6th junior, Parker Martin, coming to us out of Milledgeville, Georgia. And he is in the Longhorn, Southeastern Performance, Martin's Industrial, Fox Shocks, PMR Aviation entry. And joining him on the speedway, scheduled to be the 16 of Austin Horton out of Noonan, Georgia. The Super K Express, Orge Towing, Franklin Enterprises, GW Performance. Clements powered Rocket XR1 for 9-time winner this year, Austin Horton.
First lap time for Jordy Nipper, eighth quick, 15173. First lap time for Parker Martin, ninth quick, 15286. And the first lap time for Austin Horton, eighth quick, 15113. Lap number 2 being laid down by Jordy Nipper. He'll check in ninth fastest. Second lap, not quite as good. Second lap time for Parker Martin, also not as good. He'll be 10th quick. And the second lap for Austin Horton, a little better. He jumps up one spot to 7th. Austin Horton with a 14971. Bagley, Erb, Madden, your top 3.
Up next out of Headingley, Manitoba, it's Ricky Weiss, the J&C Properties, G-Styles Transport, Turk Enterprises, Collins Brother Towing, Derek Sandblasting, Weisner Trucking, Vic Hill Powered Sniper, race car number 7 for Ricky Weiss. In the 888, it'll be Pure Damn Hell, Dennis Hell out of LaGrange, Georgia, and the Hell Well Service Rocket XR1, and the 22E out of Beaver Dam, Virginia. Gotta love that spelling that I put on that. The Masters built Nova Racing Engine, Dickinson Sanitation, Fritz Car Care, and Skip. Oh no, we got one on the wall. And Pure Damn Hell has hit the Pure 1 and 2 wall, and he will draw the caution as Dennis Hell, not with us last night, tonight. He kissed the concrete hard in that Triple H. You could hear the smack as he went off in the corner.
It was the only hell his mom ever raised.
Oh, stop it. Well, you see the front end of that race car. He's going to need the Pure Wrecker, I have a feeling, to get that race car off the speedway. It's
a pure damn disappointment right there.
Well, the racetrack slowed down, DJ, about half a second. We saw Alberson 13.964 quick time in Group A. Group B right now, 14.453 the best time, and that's by Mobag's Morgan Bagley. So FK Rod-In's instant replay. Everybody watching home at Flow Racing, and everything's good right now for Hell. And this
is about to go to, oh
no.
Oof.
Caught it with the tail and brought the front end around. And the patrons in 1 and 2, they never flinched. That ain't their first rodeo. They've seen a few cars slide up that racetrack.
Absolutely. He's going to drive off.
Well, here's the thing. Wow. So he caught it with the rear end. I thought he caught it with the front. It might not have knocked the front end out of it. We're going to find out when we go. We're going to find out when we go back green, though.
He's going to find out real quick when we go back green.
Russell Irwin also in this set. The Dickinson Sanitation, Fritz's Car Care, Skip, Johnny Motorsports, Nova Racing Engine, Masters Belt number 22.
Hale's well service on the quarter panel of that 888 reminds me of back home when I was a youngster growing up. Hale's Harley Davidson. Some of the folks back home, kind of in that upper part of the Mid-Ohio Valley, used to always remember Hale's Harley Davidson sponsoring Rick Bond of the 007, a few other guys, kind of in that Lakeville, Wayne County, Hilltop region up that way. I think of that actually every time I see Dennis Hale's number 888. Morgan Bagley, the time to beat with a 1.4453 here in Renegade Race Fuels qualifying in Group B. Russell Irwin will jump up to third quick, and good lap on lap number 2, 1.4579. Ricky Weiss, his second lap is second quick, 1.4478. Dennis Hale going to go 1.5581. I said the second lap was actually the first lap for each of those drivers with the caution flag. Second lap time for Russell Irwin. He'll stay third quick. Second lap time for Ricky Weiss. He will stay second. And Dennis Hale's second lap time is actually a little bit better. He goes up to 13th with a 1.5307. It's now Morgan Bagley, Ricky Weiss, Russell Irwin, your top three.
Up next is going to be Will Rowland out of Jasper, Georgia, and the number 22, the Mountain Ridge Realty, Roland Tire, our Triple R Investments, Hoosier Tire, and Slicker Graphics, all sponsors on that Vic Hill-powered Capital race car, number 22. Be joined by the 0 of Scott Bloomquist out of Mooresburg, Tennessee, and the Hot Rod Septic, Clap Cattle, Petrov Towing, Weld Racing, Dirt Draft Go Lithium, number 0 for Scott Bloomquist. And joining him on the Speedway, Hunt the Front's Joseph Joyner out of Milton, Florida, the Langenfelder Mechanical Contractors, Trading Paints, Dirt Track Bank, J. Dickens Powered Capital race car for Joseph Joyner. 6 wins on the year for the driver of the 10.
First lap time going up for Will Rowland, 11th quick, 1.5122. Scott Bloomquist going to wheel the 0 off corner number 4. He'll be 11th quick now, 1.5042. And the first lap time for Joseph Joyner, 13th fastest, 1.5154. Will Rowland moves up to 9th quick on lap 2, 1.4927. Second lap time for Scott Bloomquist, not as good, 1.5046. He'll be 12th quick. And the second lap time for Joseph Joyner, also not as good. He'll stay 13th and rest on a 15.154. Bagley, Weiss, Irwin, Herb, Madden, your top 5.
Coming up next, it's going to be Tyler Herb out of New Waverly, Texas, the bulk material lift, First Class Septic, Geyers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Roberts Speed Company, MW Transport, and Turbo Threads, Clements Powered Rocket XR1, 10 wins on the year for that driver. And the number 31, former Ultimate Late Model Series champion, the Competition Racing Equipment, Grays Mobile Service, Tarpon Solution, Durham Powered Rocket XR1. It's Tyler Millwood, and joining them all on the Speedway, the 18X. First time this weekend, it's Michael Page out of Douglasville, Georgia, the Durham Powered Stinger race car, the Troy Baird Motorsports entry for Michael Page.
Again, Morgan Bagley's 1.4453 is the time to beat in Renegade Race Fuels qualifying in Group B. Tyler Herb will not do it on lap 1. He'll be 13th, 1.5059. Tyler Millwood, 18th quick on lap 1, 15.382. And the first lap time for Michael Page is 14th fastest, 1.5151. Second lap time for Turbo, not as good. He'll stay 13th, 1.5158, his second lap. Second lap time for Tyler Millwood, a hair better, 19th quick, 1.5357. And the second lap time for Michael Page, not as good. He'll stay 14th at a 1.5551. Morgan Bagley, Ben, still the time to beat, 1.4453 after 21 qualifiers in Group B.
Final 3 on the Speedway be Corey Roulette out of Dahlonega? I got it.
You got it.
Dahlonega,
Way to
Georgia.
go.
Took 87 times. I got it. The Wolfpack Clemens Power and Hood, the Roulette Construction, Randall Chupp Race Consulting, Peachtree Septic, number 05C. And behind him, last night's feature winner, the 40B of Kyle Bronson out of Brandon, Florida. The killer behind the wheel, the Race Car Engineering, Borchers Equipment, Brandon Ford, Quick Load Boat Trailers, Lucas Oil, Fast Shafts, Clemens Powered Rocket XR1 40B, and the 711 of Morgan Alexander out of Locust Grove, Georgia. The CT525 Savage Powered of Alexander Produce, Chase Rodriguez Incorporated 711.
First lap time for KB40. He's going to be 12th quick, 15 seconds flat. First lap time for Morgan Alexander, 24th quick, 16086. And lap number 1 for Corey Roulette, 21st fastest, 1.5. Excuse me, that was his second lap. And he's 21st quick. Kyle Bronson's second lap a little better, Ben 9th quick, 14894 in the second lap time for Morgan Alexander, a hair better. He is 23rd at a 15601, and that will unofficially wrap up Renegade Race Fuels qualifying here this evening. Group B out of Longview, Texas, Mo Bags. Morgan Bagley quick.
You know what I love about it? Group B fast qualifier is Mo Bags, Morgan Bagley. He's out of Texas.
Yeah.
And your fast qualifier overall, he's a New Mexico native. The Southwest representing strong here tonight early at Senoia Raceway here in Georgia.
So Morgan Bagley's quick lap of 1:44.53, as Ben said, will be quickest in Renegade Race Fuels qualifying in Group B. Ricky Weiss second quick, Russell Irwin third, and Dennis Erb Jr. fourth. Unofficially, those 4 drivers will start on the front row of their respective heat races. It was Chris Madden 5th, Carson Ferguson 6th, Ashton Winger 7th, Will Harrington 8th, Kyle Bronson 9th, and Will Rowland will round out the top 10. Travis Scott will send it down to you.
Yeah, just a quick update for the Will Harrington fans in attendance. So he climbed out of the car after his qualifying attempt. He ran all the way over here to the scale area, grabbed the jack that Ray Cook has been using to check droop, took it back to the back of his car. They jacked up, and they were under the rear end. And he said the rear end's making some kind of funny noise as he was coming around on his cool-down lap. So they were trying to diagnose what that issue could be. As they head back to the pit area, they're going to have to get it turned around quick before heat races. But just a quick update on Will Harrington.
All right, thank you very much, Travis, as I believe we have got modifieds coming up. No, not just, thank you, Ben. They're not in the lineup shoot. They are already in the infield, John, so we'll turn it over to you as you have got hot lap qualifying for the modifieds up next.
Thank you, Dustin. 13 modifieds have signed in for action. Before we get to that, race fans, we appreciate you being part of the second annual Peach State Classic. We offer up that we are selling Peach State Classic merchandise, including apparel, down at the main entrance gate. If you're getting a little chilly out there, they also have some of those nice beanies down there on sale for $20 tonight. A way to stay warm here. We're offering a multi-pronged offensive against the cold. We have beanies for sale as well as apparel. Coffee is on sale now down in the concession stand. And if you want some Southern staple boiled peanuts to keep you warm, head on down and see Big Daddy. 4 flavors for you tonight.
John, I want this s'mores. There was a graham cracker, chocolate, marshmallows, and maybe something else inside of a coffee or hot chocolate or something down here. One of our young ladies got. I want that.
Okay, I don't know where she got that, but if you go down to
You're
Bee's,
not much help.
No, stick with me, Dustin. If you go down to Bee's Freeze,
Okay.
even though they sell New Orleans style
my grandparents
snowballs,
used to talk about the Bees Freeze all the time.
yeah, and their local
the
Senoia,
Bees, okay.
local Senoia business, their trailer on the outside has New Orleans style snowballs, but you can also get gourmet style hot chocolates, and I know s'mores is one of the flavors. So go on down and see Carrie and her staff. They'll be able to hook you up to keep you warm.
If I tell her I know you, will I get it half price or will she charge me double?
Probably triple.
Oh boy, okay.
Right.
All right, Tim, come up here and take my microphone. My time is done.
All right, modifieds on track. These are a real fun class of cars. Most of them run the same 602 engine that we saw yesterday in late model Sportsman. But with this narrow 8-inch tire, boy, Tim, these drivers have their hands full out there, but they do also say it's a lot of fun. A couple of cars heading down the back straightaway. Billy Dean in the 49. I believe we've seen him in a different car this year, and working to his inside in that number 18 Mark Page. Well, I'm going to say, to those of you watching on Flow and here, Tim was really killing it, and we had the mute button on. So Tim was saying that Mark Page out there in the number 18, the brother of Michael Page. Tim, I think both brothers have been, if not in that car, they've had some twin cars out there this year for
John, let me jump
racing.
in right quick. I just got an update on the 50-50. $10,910 is the jackpot right now, and they're about to stop selling tickets down here for the 50-50. When you come in the main gate, get your 50-50 ticket. Right now it's $10,910.
To our viewers on Flow, you don't even need to be present to buy a ticket or to win. You can go to ronniethames.org, and from there you can purchase raffle tickets. The proceeds go to help burn victims and families devastated by fire. They've been partnering with us this year, and they've really done some great work. So Mark Page, quick time so far, 17.213
Watch this one right here, Booger Brooks.
44 wins this year.
Yes, Booger Brooks right there.
And Tim, I believe he's won our last 2 open-wheel modified races here on the gray clay.
Yeah, he's driven several different cars this year. No, last time he won here, he told us 44 feature wins between crates and late model sportsmen and these open wheels. So watch this 148 here, Booger Brooks. There he goes. Right to the top is Dan Meadows in the number 55 there. Looks like he's broken. I don't know if he got in the wall over there.
Dan Meadows
on turn 2
was second in points for a long time this season. And unfortunately having a tough break there. Steve Pate on screen right now in the 07, rolling down into turn number 3. He is our 2022 modified track champion. So congrats to Steve. Good to see him out joining us for the evening as we get back to green flag action. Race fans, coming up after this, we will have a short break, then our opening ceremonies, segueing right into our super late model heat races. Tim, look at that. New quick time. Booger Brooks in that 148, 17.087 seconds. Here we see Jason Hyatt, or it might be Tim Hyatt, coming down the front straightaway there in that multicolored number 1. It's Scotty tonight.
That is Scotty Hyatt, who is a relative of Jason. I never can get it right if they're cousins, uncles, or what, but they are related.
So we're gonna need the Hyatts to send us a PowerPoint, flow chart of who's related to whom.
I think last time I heard Scotty Hyatt here is Jason's uncle, but I'm not sure. But they are related, and Jason, of course, from over around the Talladega area, around the Talladega short track a lot, and freestyle graphics. He does a lot of cars also. So
Matt Cantrell on screen in the 25, struggling a little bit there through turn 3 and 4 as starter Eric Spencer waves the checkered flag on our second and final group of hot lap qualifying. So Booger Brooks, new quick time, 17.185, and he will start on the pole of the 15-lap feature later tonight. This was drawn over from the Thursday portion that was rained out, so the Bombers and Modifieds added to the program.
The fourth quick there, the 1C,
that is Bland
right?
Duke.
Correct?
So the Whitesburg Warrior doing double duty tonight here at Senoia. And we believe that draws to there might be a couple more cars. Let's see I think those cars have already run. Yeah, they're getting ready to do some track prep. So with that, we're going to turn the mic over to Ben Shelton.
All right, guys. Well, all the qualifying, all the hot laps in the books. We are moments away from opening ceremony, so we're going to step aside. Thanks to marketing partners here on the Flow Racing broadcast. On the other side of the break, Michael Rigsby, Blake Anderson, and Jason Fager in studio. They are going to go in. They're going to talk about the night, and then we're going to come back at you. Opening ceremony straight into super late model heat races. 4 of them, 10 laps, as we get things ready to roll. Final night, second annual Peach State Classic here at Senoia Raceway. You're either watching it here at the racetrack or live at Flow Racing. We'll be right back.
Introducing the latest technology in the racing industry, Spring Rhythm. Spring Rhythm is an app that can replace a spring smasher, giving you access to the same information the fast guys are using to stay ahead. The app tells you where to set your coilover nuts to hit your install loads and tells you the dynamic loads that the car will see in travel. It also simplifies adjustments at the track, giving you the information needed to adjust loads without taking the shock off the car. Spring Rhythm has been rigorously tested to ensure accuracy. There's no excuse to not be using Spring Rhythm.
Sporting the mother of all mega spoilers? That's not confidence. Choosing an oil that's 3 times stronger than the leading synthetic? Now that's confidence. Castrol Edge. Maximum performance. Maximum confidence.
The fastest growing name in the motorsports industry is the Racers brand of safety gear and apparel.
Welcome back to Castrol FloRacing Night in America. All preliminaries are complete from Senoia, and another interesting night in qualifying. Last night, the local and regional guys show why they are so hard to beat at this place. And Blake, it's interesting. We thought it was going to be nuclear again after the rain. It's actually the best the racetrack has looked all weekend, Blake Anderson.
Very smooth, able to move around. Last night, we saw guys working the lower side of the racetrack earlier on the night with this mist all afternoon. I thought we might see the same, and they were up high by the end of qualifying.
Pushed it all the way up. It's that typical kind of Senoia with the little character spots that we like. Before we get to our guest in studio, let's take a look at that top 10 qualifying graphic. These are your top 10 qualifiers tonight in the Peach State Classic. Garrett Alberson, the New Mexico kid by way of Iowa, by way of a couple other places, is your top qualifier. He's run well with us all year. Huddy second, Ricky Thornton Jr. third, Dale McDowell fourth, Devin Moran in that Jeremy Bolden's car fifth, Mason Ziegler sixth, Mike Marlar seventh, Morgan Bagley in eighth, a good run for him, Ricky Weiss ninth, and Russell Irwin, another one of those local guys, coming inside 10th. By the way, in our gambling bet, Herb Jr., who you picked, I had Madden. What was it, 9/100ths of a second? Madden finished at
1-0.
Group 2. 7 of your top 10 qualifiers come from Group A. Boy, Garrett Alberson in a really good position, Blake, to possibly earn the biggest win of his career tonight.
Absolutely. His first career quick time with the series and his 11th appearance, and that's a guy that we've really seen improve, or I have at least, in just catching a handful of late model races. I feel like every time I see him, he's more and more
gotten
competitive.
Better this year. He's taken a leap this year, for sure.
Absolutely. And one of those guys when I was pit reporting in earlier on this summer that I could go to and talk to, was very welcoming and answered a lot of my questions about how things were changing out there for him.
Speaking of good guys that are welcoming and good to talk to, I'm so excited tonight to have someone more than just Blake and I in the studio. One of my favorite guys lives just down the road. I've known him for a long time. From Bloomington, Illinois, the high side hustler Jason Fager joins us in the studio tonight. Jason, I know you were watching. You were on your way here, right? You had a bunch of work to do today and get done. You're watching qualifying. You're watching hot laps. Did you get a chance to see last night? Did you get a chance to watch a little bit of tonight? And just, it's been kind of a crazy 24 hours at Senoia, has it not?
With the weather, I mean, they're lucky to be racing. But, yeah, I watched last night, and I just saw the tail end of qualifying on the way here on the iPad. And definitely in tracks in better shape tonight. And it was definitely not typical Senoia last night, but made some pretty good racing, though.
You've been in a situation where you go to a racetrack, they're calling for weather one day. You never know what's going to happen. And I'll be candid, not just because Jason's a good friend of mine. You're a guy that usually treats the promoter well. You usually understand the situation people are in. Can you comment on just all the work the Pollards have done this weekend? It might not be perfect, but Jesus, they worked their ass off to get this thing in.
Yeah, and it's a no-win situation, right? Because half the people are going to be mad, half of them are going to be happy, and if you don't do anything, then they're mad, and if you do something, the other ones are mad. So it's crazy, but yeah, it's so much work, and it's just you just got to play the cards of how they're dealt to you, and they've worked their butts off, and they looks like I don't know that I've ever seen anybody tarp a racetrack, but I mean it's got to work. They tarp football fields and the baseball fields, so why not, right? But yeah, they thought they were gonna get it in, and they did the best they could, and had a pretty good track last night, really.
How much would a 2006 Jason Fager have loved that racetrack last night? That was right up your alley.
Yeah, that definitely would have been up my alley. A few bumps and wide open.
Blake, what do you got for Fager?
Jason, last night, a different racetrack from Senoia. You look at the weather, and today looked like it was going to be beautiful with no rain. As a race team, does that put you behind the 8 ball after last night? Are you kind of preparing for tonight at a 2-day show for that sun to be coming out, and then today it doesn't? Are you guys behind the 8 ball then, or is it kind of a race day thing where you don't touch the car till maybe early in the afternoon?
Yeah, most guys probably, we sit there, we got, pretty much the right front and the right rear shock off most of the time, and then we just put that on pretty much right before hot lapping or whatever. We got a good idea where we're going to be. And them guys after last night and then the rain, they had a good idea where they're going to start, So most of them guys are on top of it. We don't really change that much, I don't feel like, anymore. It's smaller adjustments so it's easy to get in there and do a couple rounds or just pull something out and throw another one on. So they probably were pretty much all on top of their game.
Jason will hang with us through the post-race show tonight. We'll pop in and get his feedback on. There's a lot of fireworks last night. I could have used you last night. Guys running over people. Hopefully we get a little bit of that tonight so we can get your expert analysis. But first, it's our final Fast Five of the season with Derek Kessinger. And who else would he catch up with but the guy who's about to be crowned the $75,000 champion tonight, Brandon Shepard, the Fast Five with D-Suave and B-Shep.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Castrol's Fast Five, and it's the finale, Saturday at Senoia. And I got the champion, I think. I mean, not officially yet, but I'm going to say it, the champion, Brandon Shepard, for the finale here for the Peach State Classic. Brandon, it's pretty simple. We just do 5 quick minutes. I got my stopwatch here. We're just going to kind of go rapid fire. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, Brandon, headed to Senoia in the B5 car. You ready to go, man?
I am ready. Ready as I'll ever be. I'm had some success at Senoia, so I'm pretty excited about that. Cat's got the track pretty good, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and it's a lot different than other Georgia racetracks. They brought in dirt from, the outside of that area, and you can tell it races pretty well. I feel like you can throw some sliders, and it's going to be a very interesting weekend coming up.
Yeah, it definitely gets slippery, and I can get a little bit of brown up around the wall and get kind of knock the spoiler off, beat the wall down type of deal. It can be. So, you never know what you're going to get, but it usually races really well. So it's going to be a fun weekend.
All right. So we saw this picture of your race shop coming up. Give the people at home the updates. How's it looking? You teamed up with Riggs Motorsports. You're going to have a lot of cars in that stable. So it's going to be it's going to be very fun and exciting, but how's the shop looking?
It's coming. It's the shop itself still laying on the ground right now. So it's got a long ways to go, but hopefully by, March or April, it'll be pretty much all the way done and we'll be moving into it. So, it's definitely a lot of work, but, there's a good team of guys working on it now. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm going to be gone for the majority of the main progress of it down in Speed Week. So it'll be cool. We've done a lot to our current shop over the past, couple of months trying to get ready to house all these cars until we get the new shop done. So it's been fun. It's been something new and to be coming back home and just the work and getting my hands dirty again, it feels really good. So I'm pumped up for this upcoming season and all the stuff we got going on.
Do you feel like you have a chip on your shoulder coming up in this 2023 season? Obviously, you've had a lot of success in the B5 car when you race it, a few times throughout the years. But I feel like maybe you're going to, people are going to say, oh, he's not going to win as many races because he's not in the Rocket One car. But you kind of have that chip on your shoulder because I feel like a lot of drivers would be in your scenario going from a big time race team to a good family owned race team.
Yeah, I guess you could say somewhat chip on my shoulder, but really I try not to think about that too much. The Rocket House car is a great team. There's no denying that, and you can't take that away from them. But, we're going to work our ass off to be as close as we can be to that. So, maybe we don't win as many races. Maybe we win just as many or more. Who really knows at this point? But to me, it's just about, getting back to what I know and where I want to be here, racing out of my own shop at home and just being able to get my hands dirty again. Like I said, it's a lot different. Just having the driver role. Yeah. And I did that for a long time and it was a great opportunity. And we had a lot of success doing that. And, just being able to come home and be around my family a little bit more. I mean,
that'd be a huge plus.
Yeah, exactly. We're still going to be on tour, whether it be Outlaws or Lucas, one of the two. And then, we're going to run some flow stuff and a little bit of everything. So it's not like we're slowing down racing, but I'm still going to be home, 50 more days out of the year than what I would normally be. So it's just nice to be able to race from home, and then being around my dad and my grandpa more, and it's going to be cool. It's all going to be for the better, and Jason and Scott Riggs and everybody involved with this new deal. There's no lack of effort from anybody, and they're everybody between my dad and my grandpa and Jason and Scott and everybody involved with Shepherd Riggs Racing. It's not gonna be from lack of equipment or lack of effort for sure.
All right, last thing is your dad's gonna dabble more next year racing. Could we see Super Shep 2.0? I know he's lost a little bit of weight since 2009, so we could possibly see that. And his first night out at Fairbury with Melvin, he kind of revved up the engine, kind of made me feel a little old school a little bit. So could we see some 2.0 action?
Well, he is racing the Dome, so things can get a little feisty at the Dome, so that might be where it happens.
All right, Brandon. 5 minutes is up. This is Castrol's Fast Five. Good luck tonight, and put on a show and bring home that $75,000 payday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're getting close, Jason, for super late model heat races. I want your thoughts on the Brandon Shepherd move. You have known this kid since he got behind the wheel. Quick, what do you think, buddy? Brandon, to this leaving Rocket One family ride, I want your thoughts.
I mean, you got to be happy in what you're doing, and not that he wasn't happy with the Rocket One car, but I don't think people realize he would drive to West Virginia, get in the hauler, then go to the racetrack, then they'd get back, and then he would drive back to the home to his house if he could. I mean, that's a long drive, and he has 3 little ones now, and I think he's happy. It's gonna make him happier. I think is just as a whole, and he's getting older now, and I don't think he has anything left to prove. So your happiness is worth something, and he's gonna have a lot of work to do. But Brandon is very, very talented and very smart, and he has a lot of resources around him. So I mean, I have no doubt that he'll succeed, and he'll be fine.
Our little Sheppy's all grown up.
Yeah, he's came a long way.
Quickly before we head out for super late model heat races, if you're looking for Ricky Thornton Jr. apparel, get your phone out and scan your QR code right now. Blake, I think we've informed America about what a QR code is. I think they
know by now.
They now. Scan the QR code. Ricky's ran the entire tour with us all year long. His wife has told me they've done a great job selling apparel off the QR code, so that's great. So scan the QR code or head to Ricky's website to get that now. And Jason, some of the best apparel in the country, buddy. Where can we find Jason Fager apparel? I want to sell some of that tonight, too.
Yeah, we actually just launched a brand new store this week, so it's hustlerspeedshop.com. We got a sale going on right now. I think you buy something, you get something for 25% off.
Nice.
So there's a sale going on, I think, through Thanksgiving or whatever. But yeah, go check out the new store.
Hustlerspeedshop.com. Jason, Abby, Austin. Austin still helping on the
Austin's
apparel?
Still helping, yeah. He still prints some of it.
Some of the best apparel in the country, Blake, and they have been for a long time. I think we are ready for opening ceremonies and super late model heat races. We'll be back with Jason Fager all night long in the studio. Ben Shelton, Dustin Jarrett. The dance floor is yours, guys. Take it away from Senoia.
Welcome back to Senoia Raceway, Senoia, Georgia, the Peach State Classic, the second annual. It is now time for opening ceremonies. I'm going to turn it over to John Matthews.
Race fans at Senoia Raceway, it is time for opening ceremonies. I ask that you please rise and remove your caps. Leading our invocation this evening, the track chaplain of Senoia Raceway, Mr. David Privet.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this day, and Father, we thank you for all the many blessings you've given us. Lord, you just asked us tonight to be with us. Give us all a good, safe trip home. Give us all a good, safe evening. Lord, you just asked to look after our military personnel, our first responders, take care of and watch over them. Thank you, Lord, for your blessings. In Jesus' name we ask all these things. Amen.
Race fans, we ask that you remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. Singing the Star-Spangled Banner, Mr. Jason Allis.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Mr. Jason Ollis. Well, race fans, during the course of this year, you've heard a lot of shout-outs and mentions. I have one mention to a special lady in Dunwoody, Georgia this evening. God willing, tomorrow I will celebrate my 18th wedding anniversary. In Proverbs, it is written, "He who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord." Angela, when I met you, my life changed in ways I couldn't have imagined. 1 daughter, 2 states, and 3 dogs later. Thanks to your support, I get to live my racing dreams each Saturday night. Despite the late nights and sleepy mornings, I look forward to the next 18 years with you. And with that, I see super late models staged on track. That means it's time for their heat races. I'll turn over the mic for the call to Ben Shelton.
Thank you, John. Man, you set the bar high for everybody else off that one as we get set for 4 super late model heat races tonight. Castrol FloRacing Night in America. And on the pole here in Integra Shocks and Springs heat race number 1, it's Garrett Alberson out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the 58 to his outside the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. out of Martinsville, Indiana. Row number 2 be the 99M of Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio into his outside the 157 of Mike Marlar from Winfield, Tennessee. Row 3's Brandon Shepard out of New Berlin, Illinois in the B5, and the 3S of Brian Shirley out of Chatham, Illinois. Row 4 will be the 9C of Jason Croft out of Woodstock, Georgia into his outside the 66K of Dylan Knowles out of Lynette, Alabama. Row 5's Peyton Freeman out of Commerce, Georgia in the 22 into his outside the 17H of Lamar Hategood out of Douglasville, Georgia. And on the back row, it's Bailey Williams out of Fayetteville, Georgia in the 17 and Matt Long out of Concord, North Carolina in car 55. 12 cars, 10 laps, top 4 move off to the main event here tonight at Senoia Raceway, the Peach State Classic. First of 4 heat races. The winner of this one will start on the pole, Garrett Alberson. He has coming off a big win, the deep fried 75 Sunday night at Duck River Raceway Park to his outside Ricky Thornton Jr. $100,000 win last year in the Dirt Track World Championship. And they are going to bring us to the green flag and roll them around one more time, getting a little heat in the motors, a little heat in the tires as we get set to get things underway. Devin Moran last night missed the show by 1 spot. He starts inside of row 2 in car 99 at his outside. Mike Marlar thought he had a car that was capable of winning, but a bit of contact between he and Ashton Winger knocked him out of the show last night. Meanwhile, inside of row 3, Brandon Shepard crowned Castrol FloRacing Night in America champion here in 2022 after entering tonight's event. Perfect attendance, that means he'll get $75,000 plus the trophy. As we get set to bring Integra Shocks and Springs heat race number 1 to the green, out of turn number 4, we're underway. Down the front straightaway off into turns 1 and 2. Hang on to it. Thornton to the lead. Alberson back to 3rd as Moran goes to 2nd down the back straightaway. Now Marlar moves up to the top side. He rides in 4th. Coming around to complete lap number 1. Out front, it's Ricky Thornton Jr., your leader. 2nd, Devin Moran. 3rd, Mike Marlar. 4th, Garrett Alberson. And now Alberson pushes up the hill down in turns 1 and 2. He'll hold on to 4th, but he's got the B5 of Brandon Shepard working on him through turns 3 and 4. Completing another lap out of turn at number 4, and it continues to be Ricky Thornton Jr. He looked like he might be on the way to a podium finish last night, but Ashton Winger broke late in the race, slowed in front of him. It left Thornton with nowhere to go. He limped it home to a top 10 finish. He's currently second in the standings, trying to maintain that $15,000 for second in the series standings here in 2022, and that's where Ricky Thornton Jr. is at. He's got guys like Mike Marlar, Garrett Albertson trying to get to him. Right now, Thornton is doing exactly what he's got to do here at Integra Shocks and Springs Heat Race number 1. 4 laps down, 4 in the books. 6 laps remain, and now Thornton tries to stretch it out down the back straightaway, and he'll do that. Now over a 1.5 second advantage. Devin Moran, the Jeremy Bullins Motorsports entry. We've seen Tyler Courtney in that car this year. It's Devin Moran this week, and of course next year Devin will go to the Double Down Motorsports ride. But tonight, trying to put it into the Peach State Classic in the 99, he sits in second. Marlar holds on to third. Albertson in fourth. And out of turn number 4, we race back to 4 to go with Brandon Shepard on the outside looking in the B5. Brian Shirley rides behind him. Knowles right behind him. Off into turns 3 and 4. It continues to be Ricky Thornton Jr. starting to catch the back of the field. Not sure if he'll get there with 3 laps remaining. 5 wins on the year for Ricky Thornton Jr. He's won in a late model. He's won in a micro sprint. He's done a little bit of everything this year, as he often does. He'll won in a modified last weekend as well out in Arizona. He leads the way. Devin Moran in second. Third continues to be Marlar. Garrett Albertson in that 4th spot right now. Time ticking away. Shepard in danger of having to go to the B main as the white flag will fly this time out of turn number 4. 9 laps on the board. Final time around the speedway for Ricky Thornton Jr. here in Integra Shocks and Springs Heat Race 1 as he catches Matt Long, puts him down a lap out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Off into turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag is out in the winner of Integra Shocks and Springs Heat Race number 1, Ricky Thornton Jr. Second will go to Devin Moran. Third will go to Mike Marlar. Fourth will go to Garrett Albertson. Brandon Shepard heads to the B main. He'll take Brian Shirley, Dylan Knowles, Peyton Freeman, Jason Cross, and everybody else with him. Your 4th and final transfer, that'll be Garrett Albertson out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. Third will go to Mike Marlar out of Winfield, Tennessee. Second to Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio. And your winner out of Martinsville, Indiana, it's Ricky Thornton Jr., the SSI Motorsports, Hoker Trucking, Dyno 1, Westside Tractor, Excel Floor Covering, Big River Steel, Varsity Screen Printing, and High Performance Lubricants, number 20 RT. While he gets teched and weighed down there, we'll give you real quick the lineup for Pit Stop USA Heat Race number 2. Your front row will be Hudson O'Neill out of Martinsville, Indiana, in the 71, and to his outside, the 17M of Dell McDowell out of Chickamauga, Georgia. Row 2 will be Mason Ziegler out of Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania, in the 9Z, and to his outside, the 19 of Ryan Gustin out of Marshalltown, Iowa. Row 3 will be the 99 of J.R. Mosley out of Columbus, Georgia, and to his outside, the 11 of Spencer Hughes out of Meridian, Mississippi. Row 4 is the 148 of Booger Brooks out of Chickamauga, Georgia, and to his outside, the 44D of Dalton Cook out of Columbus, Georgia. Row 5 will be the 24 of Tanner Collins out of Franklin, Georgia, and to his outside, the 17K of Kyler Haygood out of Douglasville, Georgia. And your back row, Monty Vaughn in the 50V and Cody Haskins in the 71, as we'll throw it down to Travis Scott, who is caught up with the winner of Heat Race number 1, Mr. Ricky Thornton Jr.
Ricky Thornton Jr. Ricky, car looked really good. What kind of changes do you anticipate having to make for the feature?
Anytime we're talking to you guys, really, we have a really good car. So I really didn't know what to do there on the start, and it was kind of treacherous there getting into 1. Just we're all going for that same spot there off turn 2. So a couple little changes. I was actually a little too tight there, so I think we got a little bit of work to do, but I think overall we should be pretty good.
All right, Ricky Thornton Jr., winner of Heat Race number 1.
Coming up next, we'll have Pit Stop USA Heat Race number 2. It sits on the grid. Hudson O'Neill and Dell McDowell, your front row. And man, what a front row that is. Hudson O'Neill, 8 wins on the year. Dell McDowell, 8 wins on the year. And both of those drivers have won with Castrol FloRacing Night in America this year. It was Hudson O'Neill winning at Marshalltown Speedway back in May. And in October, it was the 17M of Dell McDowell taking the win. So they will lead us to the green flag in this one. Travis, racetrack, I tell you what, we weren't sure what to expect after the mist earlier, but it looks pretty sporty right now. They've done a great job getting this racing service ready.
They have. They've done 2 rounds so far trying to work that top end, especially in turn 2 and turn 4. And one thing I noticed about Heat Race number 1, it seemed like the guys running third on back were kind of all over the place. So it seemed like a lot of guys didn't have the race car or the line that they actually wanted to run. So they were searching all over this racetrack, which is a pretty good sign. We've got a really good racetrack, and I think it's just going to widen out as we go through the night, and should produce some excellent racing come feature time.
Well, we saw the 99 over there. J.R. Mosley need a little push to get lined up, scheduled to be outside of row number 3, as we should be about ready to roll this one off the grid. Heat Race 2 of 4. for Castrol FloRacing Night in America, the 11th and final round of 2022. We talked about 9 different winners in 10 events. Last night, Kyle Bronson became the 9th different winner on the tour this year. Only Bobby Pierce, a multi-time winner this year, and a couple of winners starting on the front row of this one. So we talked about Hudson O'Neal and Dale McDowell. Lights, look like they are down on the speedway. We're going to take them around one more time, perhaps, though. Yep, there's the yellow light. We'll take them around one more time and get set to get this one underway. A Rocket XR1 on the pole, a Bloomquist car alongside. Back in row 2, you got the Barry Wright race car with Ziegler, Rocket to his outside, and a Rocket and a Longhorn back in row number 3. So now that the lights are turned out, heat race number 2 presented by Pit Stop USA will come to the green flag off turn number 4, and it's up to Hudson O'Neal and Del McDowell to get on the loud pedal. Hudson came away with a top 10 run last night. McDowell retired early from the feature. We'll see who is going to start in position number 3 here tonight. The winner of this one, that's who it's going to be. Green flag's out, and we're underway in Pit Stop USA heat race number 2. Off into 1 and 2, and Hudson O'Neal gets a good run on the Double Down Motorsports 71. Ziegler shoots the second. McDowell back to third. Meanwhile, in fourth, Gustin's right there, but he's got company as the 11 of Spencer Hughes goes to work on him. Lap number 1, though, it's all going to be the 71 of Hudson O'Neal. Sitting back in the second spot, Ziegler trying to keep McDowell behind him. Those two work the low side through 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Hudson O'Neal let it drift wide. 3 and 4, Hudson right around the hub, and he's got that 71 dialed in here tonight. As we got one that headed to the infield. That may have been Tanner Collins in car 24. Through turns 3 and 4, continues to be Hudson O'Neal leading the way. Ziegler last night didn't have quite the night he wanted, but right now he sits in position number 2. Top 4 move off to the main event. Del McDowell back in third, Gustin in fourth. Your runner-up finisher last night, Spencer Hughes, on the outside looking in. He rides back in 5th in the 11 car. And behind him, Dalton Cook. Dalton actually broke his hand here in a practice accident last weekend. Had to get that car rebuilt at Rocket Chassis. Racing with a cast on here tonight. And it's got to be a handful here at Senoia Raceway. Behind them, Booger Brooks, J.R. Mosley, Kyler Haygood, and Monty Vaughn. Tanner Collins did retire early from this one as we work lap 6 out of turn 2 down the back straightaway, and it has been all the 71 car of Hudson O'Neal so far, going after his 9th win of the year and trying to move up in the point standings even further. He's a driver is going to get a portion of that top 10 points money. And tonight he could find himself climbing up, enters the night 7th, but he has got a couple of drivers in front of him that he could work his way around depending on how the points shake out here tonight. And now he has just 3 more laps around the speedway here in in Pit Stop USA heat race number 2 does Hudson O'Neal, with Ziegler holding on to 2nd, McDowell in 3rd, Gustin in 4th. Thank you, Dustin. Has just a couple of laps remain.
Hi, Ben.
Good to see you again, sir.
I waited in line for my gourmet hot chocolate down there. We're in heat race number 2. I missed the first.
We are, and Hudson O'Neal is hanging it on him in this one. We saw Ricky Thornton Jr. win the last one, and now Hudson O'Neal will see the white flag. Final time around the speedway as the field has got stretched out here in heat race number 2.
So Hudson O'Neal going to try to hang on here for one final circuit. He heads through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag in the air, and the winner of heat race number 2 is going to be the new deal Hudson O'Neal. Mason Ziegler going to cross in 2nd. Dale McDowell 3rd. Ryan Gustin grabs the all-important 4th and final transfer spot ahead of Spencer Hughes. Dalton Cook, Booger Brooks, J.R. Mosley, Kyler Haygood will round out the car still on the racetrack. So finishing in 4th, it's the 19 of Ryan Gustin. 3rd to the 17 Emma Dale McDowell. 2nd goes to the 9Z of Mason Ziegler. And the winner of heat race number 2. He hails out of Martinsville, Indiana, the Double Down Motorsports, Lazy Days RVs, O'Neal Salvage and Recycling, Cornet Rocket XR1. How about a round of applause for the new deal, Hudson O'Neal?
Well, he'll head to Tech. Meanwhile, we're going to tell you who's going to be in K1 race gear, heat race number 3. On the pole, it'll be Morgan Bagley out of Longview, Texas, in car 14M. And to his outside, the number 22 of Russell Irwin out of Beaver Dam, Virginia.
Row number 2 on the inside out of Gaffney, South Carolina. It's going to be the 44 of Chris Smokey Madden on his outside out of Hampton, Georgia. In the number 12, it is Ashton Winger.
Row 3, last night's feature winner, Kyle Bronson out of Brandon, Florida, in the 40B. And to his outside, the 16 of Austin Horton out of Whitesburg, Georgia.
Moving back to row 4, on the inside, we find Mooresburg, Tennessee's Scott Bloomquist in the 0. He'll be flanked by the the Douglasville, Georgia driver Michael Page in the 18X.
Row number 5, the 1N of Jordy Nipper out of Gray, Georgia, into his outside the 888 of Dennis Hell out of LaGrange, Georgia.
And your final 2 starters will be Dahlonega, Georgia's Corey Roulette in the 05C and Locust Grove's Morgan Alexander in the 711. How is your gourmet hot chocolate, Ben? I got us both Oreo.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah, it is. It was worth the 30-minute wait that I had down there.
You got it, though.
Oh, I've got your money here, by the way. Actually, I brought you change back, too.
I even get change.
Thank
wow.
you. You did get change, yes.
Well, Hudson O'Neill about to clear the scales. Ray Cook checks it. He waves him through. Travis will throw it down to you with the winner of Pit Stop USA Heat Race number 2, Hudson O'Neill.
All right, guys, Hudson has cleared tech. Hudson O'Neill, this Roger Sellers on 71 looked really strong.
Yeah, I felt really good right there. Whenever you qualify better, makes your job a little easier. But, I think we got a good piece. We just got to figure out a decent balance here. I don't know if I can run 75 laps with the balance I have right there. So we'll go to work, try and make just a few small changes, and see if we can be in the ballpark and take us out some money.
All right, Hudson O'Neill looking for his second Castrol FloRacing Night in America win of 2022. He'll start 3rd.
Well, thank you very much, Travis. Congrats to Huddy for the win in that one. Wow, as we get set now for K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 3. And we talked about it. Morgan Bagley, can he back up that qualifying performance here in the heat race? Was the coffee napalm DJ? Are you okay?
It's hot.
You burned it.
The hot chocolate's living up to its name.
You burned your tongue, my friend.
Well, the roof of my mouth is no longer.
It's like Captain Crunch, a cereal to destroy your mouth. But it's delicious.
It
is
so
so
good.
delicious.
It's so good.
All right, Morgan Bagley, Russell Irwin on the front row. They'll roll them off here. Well, Irwin put it in the show last night. Bagley he was honest. He goes, man, that was not my kind of racetrack last night. And tonight he comes out, he sets quick time in his group. And you look back at row 2, Chris Madden, defending winner of this event, and to his outside, Ashton Winger, a driver that's won some features here at Senoia Raceway.
Yeah, 2 guys right there in row 2, Ben, that were running really up in the top 3 for a big portion of the race last night, or in the top 4 rather. They behind Kyle Bronson. You had Madden and you had Winger. Of course, Mike Marlar was right there as well. Madden ended up having trouble and dropping out. Winger, he and Mike Marlar then ended up getting together. Those 2 drivers in row number 2 going to be guys to keep your eyes on. And by the way, just behind them is last night's winner, Kyle Bronson, in what could be a very, very entertaining 3rd heat race here this evening.
Well, lights are down on the speedway. Next time out of 4, it's going to be up to Bagley and Irwin to come to the green flag. Yeah, Bronson won last night in convincing fashion. And tonight he's got to claw his way from the 5th starting spot. Top 4 will move off to the main event. This is K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 3. One more heat to go after this one, and then we'll have a pair of 604 Crate Late Model B mains.
Bagley on the inside, Irwin on the outside. They roll off turn number 4. Green flag is out in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 3. Winger make contact with it. Looked like maybe Madden as they came off the corner. He'll fall back. They go nearly 3 wide off the corner, and they
did not like that start.
They did not like that start at all. So the caution flag will fly here in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 3. We'll line them back up side by side, double file 2 by 2, and try it one more time.
The only person that did not like that start any more than Russell Irwin was Kelly Carlton. He was not wild about that when he calls it back, so we rack him and stack him. We'll try it again. Lights down on the speedway. We want Bagley and Irwin side by side when they exit turn number 4 here in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 3.
My favorite thing about this hot chocolate's the rim. They got the chocolate.
Yeah, it's got kind of like a
marshmallowy
daiquiri type deal.
Yeah,
if a daiquiri had Oreos in it.
There's an Oreo down inside of yours, by the way.
Oh, my. Well, that looks a lot better start. Bagley to the lead. Irwin battles through the middle of the racetrack. He'll hold on to 2nd. Madden back in 3rd. Hang on to it. Austin Horton gets shuffled up the racetrack. Meanwhile, Bronson to the inside of Ashton Winger. That's the battle for the 4th spot. Lap number 1. It's going to go to Morgan Bagley, but here comes Russell Irwin with a head of steam off into 1 and 2.
Irwin going to try to get a run up on the outside of the racetrack. Meanwhile, Ashton Winger sticks a nose up underneath Chris Madden, and Bronson gets way loose coming off the corner. It opens up the door for Austin Horton and Scott Bloomquist both. Back up at the front of the field, though. It's Russell Irwin giving chase to your race leader, Morgan Bagley, running a completely different line than the 14M.
Oh, here comes Irwin, though. He's got to have some momentum. He thought about a slider down into 3 and 4. He thinks better of it up top. Now Bagley will change his line a little bit. Here comes Chris Madden joining the battle. Good stuff right now in heat race number 3.
Good race up front for the lead. 3 cars under a blanket for the top spot. Russell Irwin throwing everything he can at your race leader, Morgan Bagley. Bagley down on the inside of the racetrack. The 14M is running well there, but boy, Irwin gets a real good run on the high side coming off the corners.
And now Irwin continues to work the top side. Bagley trying to make that car as wide as he can as we work lap 5 of this 10-lapper down the back straightaway. Back and forth, it's Winger. Right now, Chris Madden starting to reel in your top 2. This one could get real entertaining before it's open. We're halfway home.
Boy, Russell Irwin continues. 2 very different lines being run right there between Irwin and Bagley. Bagley on the low side, washing up the track, coming off the corners. Irwin staying committed to the high side of the speedway. Madden committed to the bottom side of the racetrack. Really 3 different groups being run by your top 3 cars.
Well, Winger's in 4th. Outside looking in behind him is Kyle Bronson. Bronson's starting to make up some ground on Ashton Winger. He's got less than 4 laps to figure it out for the final transfer. He's going to be in a B main, and we're going to have caution as Scott Bloomquist will draw the caution up in 1 and 2 with 6 laps in the books here in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 3, and he's going to head to the infield. He better be careful because that entrance right there, actually they've done a good job with it. Earlier you did not want to go through there, but that actually looks pretty good now. He leans in. One of our track workers leans in to get a word with him. And broke drive shaft on the 0 is the call.
It's a tough break for Scott Bloomquist and that hot rod septic treatment number 0 as his heat race is finished. We've got 6 laps down, 4 laps remaining. Morgan Bagley is your leader. Russell Irwin second, Chris Madden third. Ashton Winger right now sits in that 4th and final transfer spot. And Ben, as you mentioned, last night's winner Kyle Bronson currently on the outside looking in.
But this restart could be just what he wanted. If you're Morgan Bagley, you're probably, I don't know if you're hating to see this restart or not because...
He just kind of got a rhythm that last lap or lap and a half.
Well, Russell Irwin has been running a really good race so far. Irwin's going to take the bottom for the restart. Well, actually...
we're going green.
Well, that was interesting.
That was very interesting.
Well, we're back underway, back on the farm. Bagley, your leader. Meanwhile, Madden goes around Irwin. Irwin slips backwards as now Winger... We were past the halfway mark, so single file, and then it was almost like Irwin was not ready for that restart.
Yeah. So Madden second, Winger third, Bronson fourth as Irwin got shuffled way back through the field. He currently runs back in, I believe, the 7th position.
And it's like he's got his hands full as not as good as it was early in this one. Out front, it's Morgan Bagley. Meanwhile, Ashton Winger is going to go to work on Chris Madden for his 2nd spot as we work laps out of turn number 2. Laps ticking away in this one. And a little bit of an internet issue here to get on the counter as the white flag's out.
Final time around 3/8 of a mile remaining for Morgan Bagley, who's led since the drop of the green flag. The 14M looking solid and pulling away down the back straightaway as he heads through turns 3 and 4, stares at the checkered flag out of Longview, Texas. The winner of K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 3 is Mobags Morgan Bagley. 2nd spot's going to go to Chris Madden. 3rd will go to Ashton Winger, and Kyle Bronson will round out the top 4. So Bronson 4th, Winger 3rd, Madden 2nd, and the winner of K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 4. So the driver of the P&W Sales, Billy Bob's Repair and Tire, P&W Iron Works, Integra Midwest Sheet Metal, Clements Rocket XR1 out of Longview, Texas. How about a round of applause for Mobags Morgan Bagley?
Well, he'll head down to the scales. We'll get ready for Buzzy Racing Products Heat Race number 4. Your front row will be Ricky Weiss out of Headingley, Manitoba in the 7W, and the 28 of Dennis Erb Jr. out of Carpentersville, Illinois.
Moving back to row 2 on the inside, we find Concord, North Carolina's Carson Ferguson on his outside out of Hawkinsville, Georgia. In the number 19M, it'll be Will Harrington.
Row 3, the 22 of Will Rowland out of Jasper, Georgia. It is outside the 121 of Pearson Lee Williams out of Dublin, Georgia.
4th row back inside, it'll be the driver out of New Waverly, Texas, and the Best Performance Motorsports number 1. That is Turbo Tyler Urban on his outside out of Milton, Florida. In the number 10, it's Hunt the Front, Joseph Joyner.
Row 5, the 6th junior of Parker Martin out of Milledgeville, Georgia, and to his outside the 31 of Tyler Millwood out of Kingston, Georgia.
And your final 2 starters in row number 6, it'll be the 42 of Clay Knight out of North Augusta, South Carolina, and the Statesboro, Georgia driver Jim Rogers in the 71K, 12 cars, 10 laps the distance. In Buzzy Racing Products Heat Race number 4, the top 4 drivers will transfer into tonight's main event as Morgan Bagley has made his way through tech. Travis, will send it down to you.
Morgan Bagley makes his way down here. Morgan, you told us last night's racetrack not your cup of tea. Is tonight more to your liking?
So far, I mean, last night we just first time been here in a long time, and everybody had a race on the same stuff. We didn't get the job done, but we didn't give up. We're still here, and appreciate the boss man that gives me this opportunity to keep it going. Well, hopefully we can make him proud tonight.
All right, guys, Morgan Bagley picks up his first career Castrol heat race win. He'll look for his first feature win as he rolls off from the outside of the front row in tonight's Peach State Classic.
Well, thank you very much, Travis. As we get set now for the fourth and final heat race, Buzzy Racing Products heat number 4, and he calls him Boss Man. I call him Wayman McMillan. Even better, Kalen McMillan, Wayman's much better half. And Wayman, P&W Cells, P&W Ironworks, they sponsored Josh Richards this year. They sponsored Boom Briggs. They do a lot to support racing. They support the Comp Cam Super Dirt Series. And Wayman, brother, hate you're not here this weekend. I know I'll see you at Speed Weeks, but we talked last night about the car owners. Wayman is one of those, and he is just gone out of his way to support dirt track racing, and we're very grateful for him. And of course, Wayman's son Zach doesn't race much anymore. He used to race quite a bit in the late model.
Always
in the mod.
had a great looking car.
Always.
Great looking 14Z.
100%. And so Wayman, so Mobags turned the corner. We'll see what can happen.
I'm telling you, it was that pep talk we gave him in the pit area earlier, razzing or whatever we did. We roughed him up pretty good down there.
We didn't. He's too likable to do that. But your front row, Ricky Weiss and Dennis Erb Jr. Top 4 will move on. They shall show them 1 to go this time by 10 laps the distance. Coming up after this, we'll have twin 604 crate late model B mains. And then we'll get ready for super late model action, B-main action. It's going to be a fast-paced moving show. Got started a little bit late, courtesy of Mother Nature tonight. But since then, we're rocking and rolling. And we saw in that last one, man, now, Irwin did not get a good restart, but he was rolling pretty good on the top side. It'll be interesting to watch how this track widens out as the night progresses.
Absolutely. Dennis Erb as well. You got to think wants a little bit of redemption after pulling in 2 laps early in his heat race last night. He's licking his chops, starting on the outside front row of this one. Winner of this heat race will start 4th in the Peach State Classic. Green flag is out, and Buzzy Racing Products heat number 4 is underway.
Weiss jumps to the lead in second now. Erb, meanwhile, way up top. Will Harrington tiptoeing around the top. He'll shoot to 3rd. He might not be done there. No, he thought about driving it off in the corner, and Dennis Erb Jr. said, no, sir, as Harrington to 3rd. 4th, Carson Ferguson. Out front, though, Ricky Weiss leading the way.
And it's really interesting. Ricky Weiss was up in the middle groove of the racetrack on that first lap. He immediately moved back down to the bottom of the speedway. But I tell you what, the wild card in this one might be the 19 Emma Will Harrington. Harrington's getting a real good run up on the high side in 1 and 2. He just went to the top side down in 3 and 4 as well. Keep your eyes on that Colton Miller 19M as he looks like he's shot out of a cannon down the back chute.
Well, now Carson Ferguson goes to work on the top side. Tyler Erb outside looking in. He rides back in 5th. Top 4 move on. 3 on the board. 7 to go. And it continues to be Ricky Weiss. And now Weiss letting it drift wide. And right now, you can skate all over this racetrack. Hang on, Will Harrington and Carson Ferguson. Turbo's watching it all unfold in front of him. And you got 3 cars going after 2 spots through turns 3 and 4.
Pucker factor pretty high right there, my friend, as those 2 cars nearly came together coming off the corner. Carson Ferguson will work his way by Will Harrington in the 3rd and bring Tyler Erb with him. Now Turbo going to take at 4th and final transfer spot. Harrington back to 5th, this time by Benji halfway home. 5 down, 5 to go.
5 on the board, 5 to go. Weiss, your leader, but he's got company.
Yeah.
Here comes Dennis Erb Jr. Winner of this one will start 4th here tonight. Meanwhile, in 3rd, it continues to be Carson Ferguson. Tyler Erb in 4th, but Will Harrington's got his feet back under him, and he is rocking and rolling around the top side of a speedway trying to get that final transfer spot from Turbo.
Yep, doubling up for you at home. That's the battle for that final transfer spot on the right-hand side of your screen. Turbo has it. Harrington wants it on the left-hand side of your screen. The race for the lead as Dennis Erb Jr. continues to give chase to Headingley, Manitoba's Ricky Weiss in the 7, just 3 to go.
Just 3 to go. Weiss holds serve on the lead. Erb Jr. in 2nd. 3rd, Carson Ferguson. 4th, Tyler Erb. They race back to 2 to go, and now Turbo closing in on Carson Ferguson, trying to get that 3rd spot. Top 4 move on, so Turbo's not going to want to push the issue too hard. Although the door might open out of 2 down the back straightaway, not so much as DJ, they come back to the white flag.
PSG, baby. We got a good one up here up front. Just 1 to go, though. The top 4 all now within the same half straightaway of each other. Ricky Weiss trying to keep that 7 glued to the very bottom of the racetrack and hang on. Erb washed push up high and give it one more chance through turns 3 and 4. Herb will look high, checkered flag in the air, not enough. Oh, Ricky Weiss will hang on and get the win in Buzzy Racing Products heat race number 4. Second goes to Dennis Herb Jr., third to Carson Ferguson, and the one of Tyler Erb will round out your 4 transfer cars, followed by Will Harrington, Joseph Joyner, Will Rowland, Parker Martin, Pearson Lee Williams, Tyler Millwood, Clay Knight, and Jim Rogers.
Oh, that was a fun one there. Taking your 4th and final transfer, Tyler Erb. 3rd to Carson Ferguson. 2nd to Dennis Erb Jr. And your winner, now residing in Monterey, Tennessee, but he hails out of Headingley, Manitoba. It's Ricky Weiss, 5-time winner on the year. The Vic Hill powered Sniper race car, sponsored by J&C Properties, G-Style Transport, Turk Enterprises, Collins Brothers Towing, Derek Sandblasting, Weisner Trucking, Dryden Oil, and Keywatton Truck Service. All sponsors for Weiss. As soon as he clears the scales and the tech, he'll head down to get a word with Travis. And man, if that's a taste of what we might see in the feature tonight, you saw guys trying a lot of different lines, and Will Harrington was worth the price of admission, ripping the lip up there by the concrete.
What I like, Ben, is you had a few guys in those heat races that really did not have good runs last night that you saw have good runs in the heat races. Guys like Devin Moran, Morgan Bagley, and Ricky Weiss, for example. Guys that needed a good run this evening, they go out and have good runs in their heat races. I think we're going to have a very interesting look to our feature lineup here this evening with the 16 drivers that have already transferred in. I think it's going to make for an even more interesting $53,000 to win main event coming up a little bit later on this evening. You see Ricky Weiss on the scales getting the droop check down there by Ray Cook and his team.
Josh Amaker down there. And looks like he is going to be...
Hey, he just got the thumbs up.
There we go, Travis. All right, Ricky Weiss coming your way, Travis, the winner of the 4th and final heat.
Yeah, Ricky was a bit excited. They actually weighed him, and right before they could go check the droop, he pulled off the scale, so we kind of had to back him up. That's a little bit of the delay there as Ricky will get turned in right here, and we'll grab a quick word with Ricky Weiss. Ricky, car looked really good. You were committed to the bottom. Is it good enough to win from the 4th starting position tonight?
Yeah, I think we got a real good car tonight. We kind of tested some stuff last night and swim back to the notebook, and we know what works, so just excited to get going and roll that slick and through the middle, and I think we'll have a real good car for the feature.
All right, Ricky, good luck. Ricky Weiss is your final heat race winner of the night, guys.
Thank you very much, Travis, as they'll head back to the pit area. Meanwhile, we've got 2 604 crate late model B mains in the pit area. Super late model B main number 1. Your lineup is posted. B main number 2 lineup being posted right now. Your B mains are up after these 2 604 crate late model B mains. So super late models, check the lineups down there as B main 1 and 2.